You are listening to the Matt McGill Show here on WVON 1690 AM, the talk of Chicago. And yeah, of course, this is not Matt McGill. I'm Kimberley Agoin filling in for Matt. So happy to be here with you guys today. We've got a jam-packed show. It's, always fun to do what we do here, right? It's going to be a great conversation. We are really going to start off at the top with some of our hot topics, and it is getting hot here in the state of Illinois, especially on the political scene. Man, have you been hearing, following, looking at anything that is happening with members of the General Assembly? Okay, so the Illinois General Assembly, and this time we are talking about the state House side. We know that there is a man who was a state rep, Representative Harry Benton, who was under investigation by the Inspector General's office for some conduct that probably had something to do with sexual harassment. Little drips and drops are coming out about it. But next week, this time, like a week from today, the Inspector General has kind of been forced into releasing the report, the full report of what happened with this former state rep, because as of now, he definitely resigned. He was asked to resign about a month ago by the Speaker of the House, Emanuel Chris Welch. And the Speaker obviously got an opportunity to read the full report, and whatever was in that report, which we'll find out in about a week, it was bad enough that he was asked to resign, and after about a day or so, Representative Benton did resign. So you would think that the story would kind of stop there. I know in Congress, there was a Congressman, Matt Gaetz, who was under an investigation as well. And once they were able to force him to resign, the report went away. So it was the same thing. The Speaker was a member of his own party. They decided since he resigned, we have no obligation to release the report, which just adds on to him resigning, right? But in this case, report's coming out. You would think that would be the end of it. However, it's gone beyond that. Now people are questioning the leadership of Speaker Emanuel Chris Welch. And there's just so much to this story. When we come back from this break for traffic and weather, I'm going to be joined by a very special guest who you all know and love, Perry Small. And we're going to dissect this story as well as others in the political world going around the state of Illinois right after this break for traffic and weather.
More coming up from Kimberley Agoin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hey, baby! I'm your Magnolia Blues man, Sir Henry Cheatham, inviting you to join us Mr. Big Stuff, tell me. On WVON 1690 for some real American music and culture. Here on Classic Blues and R&B. Check us out Saturday, 11 p.m. until 2 a.m. on WVON and Classic Blues and R&B.
In July, Vaughn TV has your summer watch list covered. Go behind the headlines with the official launch of Portraits in Color, featuring candid conversations with music executive Matthew Knowles, community leader Jotaka Edie, and actress Danielle Truitt.
My family's very proud. It was very cool to, when the show first came out and to see myself in those credits, with dun 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 dun, and be like, that's me. That's crazy, It is very cool to be a part of the legacy of Law & Order now.
And that's just the beginning. Premiering this month, Serenity, Strength, and Style with Sylvia Ewing and Friends, a fresh new series featuring inspiring conversations about health, wellness, creativity, and living life to the fullest. This July, there's something for everyone on Vaughn TV. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV Plus, the WVON app, or at Vaughn.tv. Vaughn TV, for the culture, by the culture.
Point. Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Back to Kimberly Agoin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back, guys. This is Kim McGowan filling in for Matt McGill. Super excited to be here. I didn't even tell you everything we're going to talk about. First of all, we're going to talk about, of course, what's happening down in the Illinois State Assembly, the General Assembly. We're also going to have a conversation about the double standard when it comes to politicians and who they support. In particular, people who are getting money from AIPAC. There was a major announcement during the primary of Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky. She said that she was not going to support one candidate because she was receiving money from AIPAC, but she's hosting a fundraiser for someone else who, as of the current count, probably has gotten $8 million from AIPAC. So we want to discuss, like, what is the difference there? Also, quickly, in case you didn't know, and they probably already reported this here, LeBron James is with another team. LeBron James is now playing for the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, if you have followed LeBron James' career, you know that he has worn every color jersey that you can wear that has ever existed. He has the Infinity Stones version of jerseys. He doesn't have a color jersey that he doesn't like, but we wish him well. We know that he'll do a great job in Philadelphia. Still not the greatest of all time, but he's going to do a great job for them. I'm sure he will. So before we went to break, I wanted to talk about Chris Welch, Speaker of the House Chris Welch. We know how he came to power. It happened after Michael Madigan's rapid fall. And ultimately, the fall came from a conviction dealing with corruption, which may or may not get overturned, but he had to do time, right? But if you remember, before the corruption charges hit former Speaker Michael Madigan, there was this whole issue with Me Too, sexual harassment that was happening down in Springfield that people knew about for years and years and years. And that kind of opened the floodgates, even to the degree that Michael Madigan's chief of staff he was either fired or had to quit. Just so much happened. And now we're watching something like this happen in real time. Joining us on the live line to talk about this, and Perry Small, you have been following this story. Let me ask you a question. How does it come from Representative Harry Benton, who is a state rep out of the southwest suburbs, who I honestly had not even heard of before this? How does it go from him resigning to now people are beginning to call for the resignation of Speaker Chris Welch? How does that happen? And thank you for joining us today.
Yes, and thank you so much for having me on this Friday. The scrutiny of Speaker Emanuel Chris Welch in the wake of a former state representative's dalliances and misconduct is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Because, and I'm not going to totally say that, he didn't do anything wrong. The speaker himself owned up to where he said he took responsibility for a lapse in judgment.
Yeah, just some inappropriate, comments
and communications, not for anything other than communications. Because for those of you who don't know, one of the accusers used to work in Welch's office, didn't work with Welch, when these things happened, And Speaker Welch said, meet up at a popular downtown bar and we could talk about this. And people are saying that was inappropriate. I don't think that meeting ever happened. I don't think that meeting ever happened, Kim. However, what a lot of people don't know, that because of all of the after Me Too stuff, every legislator in the state of Illinois and members of their staff, they have to take sexual harassment and ethics training, and the speaker says he has completed his.
Okay.
So he says he's completed his. Did Benton do that? I have no idea. Is this going to continue to happen? Yes, as long as there are two sexes in the workplace, this is going to happen, but there should be consequences, because it's gotten to the point that I've even heard lawmakers from around the country say young women do not want to go into politics because they're afraid of this type of sexual harassment. I call bull crap on that, but I imagine that there are some women that feel that way.
There probably are. I mean, if anybody who's been down to Springfield knows that you hear about those type of interactions, and if you're not one of those people who plays that game, that would be, very, very uncomfortable. So I could see that. But
back in the day, they used to get very flirty. I mean, not necessarily the wonderful legislators that were mentoring me, but their aides. It was all bets were off.
Yeah. And it's just they're just so isolated from here. It's like everyone goes down there and it's just a different atmosphere. So here's the thing, though. It's gone from Harry Benton, who quits. They're releasing the report.
Who is a pig?
Well, it sounds like it's going to be bad, right? The report
and I want people to understand, part of the reason why it has taken so long to release this information, because it is so horrible. And I'm thinking, now what could possibly
be so bad,
been done worse than Anita Hill in that kind of situation? You understand what I'm saying? I just can't imagine. I mean, I've never had that experience, so I can't imagine.
Well, Anita Hill
they say it is so bad, but what the bad thing is, and the question that you as Illinois residents and voters should have, why does he get to redact some of it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to find out, because as they're dripping pieces of it out, the Chicago Tribune is reporting that Welch's office knew about sexual harassment claims against this former state rep Benton as early as 2023, but did not act informally until new complaints rose this year. And you brought something to my attention. The governor had some statements to say about this.
Absolutely.
What did he say?
And the governor was not accusatory of the speaker. He was very measured, but he went into a mantra, and I hope that you all can pull this up. It's everywhere. He went on a mantra, is that if you are an elected official, you are held to a higher and a better standard. And Illinois politicians, for the most part, have not, done well in this area. I'm paraphrasing, but he wasn't supportive, nor was he dismissive of the speaker. But if you hear it for yourself, and this is the same governor who has all of these wonderful commercials, and he talks about what a friend he's been to Black people.
Oh, he just signed something for Emmett Till.
Yeah,
Emmett Till Day.
Yes, the Emmett Till. Yeah, that is supposed to improve the quality of my life. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a wonderful gesture. Thank you.
773-591-1690. I'm going to try to find that clip. Hopefully, we'll see if we can find that clip, just so that people can hear the tone of his voice, because now they have started digging up for past accusations, and we know you can tear someone's name down with accusations to the degree that you will run them out of office, and it may not even be true. So that's the thing that I'm concerned about. 773-591-6090. We're going to take a break and come right back after this break for news, traffic, and weather.
It's sunny today with a high of 81. Good morning. I'm Kayla Patton, and here's what's happening. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul has joined efforts to extend the temporary protected status for Haitians. In an exclusive WVON interview, he tells Rufus Williams this morning that his fight is fueled by racist rhetoric coming directly from the White House.
The president made the misstatement of Haitians eating cats and dogs. And so one of the things we have to do also is just call out the racism. The racism of the president, the racism of the Supreme Court ignoring the nature of the statements coming out of the president's mouth. Because, and what people have to understand, one of the challenges to the decision was that it was based on discrimination. And the Supreme Court just rejected that.
Attorney General Raoul is part of a coalition of 20 attorneys who are asking Congress to pass legislation that would provide judicial oversight and set up a pathway to permanent residency. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker signed a statewide legislation yesterday that designates July 25th as Emmett Till Day. Till was an African-American young teen from Chicago who was kidnapped, beaten, and brutally murdered in Mississippi by white supremacists in 1955. The observance serves as a call to confront racism and continue the pursuit of justice.
By signing this legislation, we ensure that the lives of Emmett Till and Mamie Till Mobley will not be forgotten. Their story will continue to be told. Their legacy will continue to challenge us to be better.
The corner of 71st and Kedzie will be rededicated tomorrow as Mamie and Emmett Till Road. Well, we have been facing a health crisis with an outbreak of cyclosporiasis and now bakery shutdowns. Popular bakery chain Magnolia Bakery, their Chicago flagship store, was temporarily shut down after failing a set of health inspections. I took to the streets to see how people are feeling about the reopening. Denitra from Mississippi says,
I feel like it's not worth it. I feel like if you failed your inspection 3 times, then clearly you didn't. The people that was over the bakery didn't care enough to like prepare the bakery and actually take care of it. So if you didn't take care of it the first time, I don't think they're going to proceed to take care of it the second time.
It was reported that health inspectors found roaches, small flies, and problems with the plumbing systems. However, the store has since reopened after being shut down on Monday, July 13th. It's WNBA All-Star Weekend in the Windy City with lots of activities happening today at Wintrust Arena, but the actual game happens tomorrow at the United Center. And today, President Obama surprised WNBA All-Stars and coaches during their practice at the Obama Presidential Center's home court before joining 9th grade girls participating in the WNBA Changemakers program, underscoring the transformative nature of women's sports. The president joined 22 All-Star players, head coaches Cheryl Reeve and Becky Hammond, assistant coaches, and honorary general managers Cynthia Cooper and Teresa Weatherspoon on the court. The drop-by took place during WNBA All-Star Practice and Media Day, one of a series of marquee events taking place at the Obama Presidential Center as part of WNBA All-Star Weekend. Well, that's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. I'm Kayla Patton.
It's Gospel with Pam Morris Walton, your gospel sister, on WVON Sundays, 11 to 2 p.m. Music to help you on your journey. I'll see you there, WVON.
It's Rufus Williams.
Chris, good morning. Welcome to VON.
Ain't no jive on the morning drive with Rufus Williams. Thank you, brother.
Weekdays at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hello, Chicagoland. This is your main man, Tio, Mr. Ceasefire Hardiman. I'm inviting all of my friends, associates, and colleagues to tune in to WVON, the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM for the Tio, Mr. Ceasefire Hardiman Show. This show will cover all the hottest topics, including politics, reducing gun violence, and so much more, right here every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, WVON. Thank you.
Back to Kimberly Agoin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back here on the Matt McGill Show, talking with Perry Small about the situation with Harry Benton, who is a former state rep, and then also Speaker Welch, because it has gone into a whole other stratosphere about his involvement, his office, that they didn't take action to do something about these sexual harassment charges, allegations until 3 years after they began. The governor did say that the following. Now, the speaker has a responsibility to be utterly and completely transparent about the situation, to make sure that he is letting the public know, as well as, in particular, his members know exactly what happened, and to the extent that he made mistakes, own up to those mistakes. So those
He
are
did that.
Yeah. Pritzker also said he's outraged by Benton's behavior.
Is that it?
Yeah, well, that's what I have. I couldn't get the whole video. You know, I was looking for it. But the other
No,
thing,
I was saying, is that all he could say about Benton?
oh, well, you know, he said something about him before. So he had already talked about him around the time that the speaker was asking for him to resign.
All right.
So that was a little while ago. But the other thing, Perry, is that the Women's Caucus.
Oh gosh, that is a big part of
you
all
know
of this.
that's fully loaded, because usually the Women's Caucus does not. There usually are not any black women who are vocally involved in the Women's Caucus.
Right.
So I'm just putting that out there, being for real. Speaker Welch met with them.
I want you to know that this is coming from the Women's Caucus.
Yeah, well,
which black people, which black members, female members, or those that identify as female, they don't have a lot to do with the Women's Caucus.
Yeah,
because they've got so much to do with the Black Caucus. Correct, Kim?
Yeah, and but according to the speaker, he met with them.
Yeah.
But from what I'm understanding, he thought one thing was happening with that meeting, and a whole other thing came out of it, with some of the women saying that they were not satisfied with what went on in the meeting. They thought there would be more accountability.
Yeah, well, these were some of the same people, it's been reported, that were against the speakership of the first black
in the
man,
first place.
The first black speaker in Illinois. Yeah, these are the same people. So, and
you're on it.
Really, we want you just to know what is going on here. And I am never going to support any kind of sexual harassment, sexual assault, sexual trafficking of any woman. I am not supportive of that at all. But to use this when there was nothing egregious on the part of the speaker, because the end result is he owned up to where he took responsibility for his lapse in judgment, over communications, completed his sexual harassment and ethics training that is required of all legislators and their aides, and he was not involved in anything that I can see that even comes close to a cover-up.
Well, they are dragging him. They're dragging him all the way. Yeah, they're dragging him all the way back to before he was a speaker. They're dragging him back to previous relationships that he had, real relationships, being accused of something, and the person not only dropping the charges, but staying in a relationship with him. Former harassment charges when he was on a school board. They are dragging it all the way, and all of these are unfounded. And that is the thing. I hate when people come after someone to just muddy the water just enough so that others will call for them to resign. There are already calls for him to resign. And right now there has been, yeah.
And I get this, and I don't want to seem like a hypocrite, because on the last day that I was on WVON when I retired. Emmanuel Welch, he came on the show, and the last question I asked him, I said, now, Speaker Welch, you said you were going to retire. He always said he was not going to, run after a certain amount of terms. I don't know what that is. I can't remember.
Okay.
And I was just kind of joking with him.
Mm-hmm.
But see, I look back on saying that now, that's no joke, because what is happening is that this man, from what I have seen to date, that he has done as a public servant, he has done an excellent job as Speaker in terms of getting legislation, bringing the budget, bringing the people together.
Mm-hmm.
And if he decides not to give up the speakership in the time that he had said in the first place, it's his right. He can do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be damned if I sit up here because of Illinois in this country, and I'm just going to say an anti-blackness and your crazy DEI mess, that I'm going to let you and not educate and be a part of this conversation of what is going on, going after the first new speaker in Illinois in 50 years, and he just happened to have been black.
And he just happened to,
now you're coming after him on some nonsense and looking back and deep into his past. Imagine what we can find about Benton.
Right.
Was he biting off heads of snakes or something?
But I think it's going more toward what we know to be true, that in politics you can have titles as a black person, but you still don't necessarily have power. Just stop.
I don't have to have that conversation about DEI anymore.
Yeah.
I don't have to have the conversation. We have to work harder, and we have to be better. I know this already. I'm just sick of it. I just rather call it out every time I see it.
Well, that leads to the other topic. During the primary, when we had all of the people running for Congress, you have to run for Congress every 2 years. There was a big battle for current Congresswoman Robin Kelly's seat, which was former Congressman Jonathan Jesse Jackson Jr.'s seat, in which Donna Miller, who's a Cook County Commissioner right now, is running for that office. She received a backing from a lot of people with big name recognition, and one person who has been her supporter for many years, Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky, supported her. And then in the 11th hour, Jan Schakowsky made a huge announcement, made a big deal about it, saying she was withdrawing her support of this woman who she has supported for so many years, and Donna Miller had supported her as well.
And Donna says they have been friends for 20 years.
I believe
and
that.
She did say today she's still friends with them. But go ahead.
And that's fine, and I want them to be friends, but I'm going to tell you what she did. She did it during the 11th hour. She withdrew her support and said it was because she could not in good conscience support Congresswoman Donna Miller or anybody who was accepting AIPAC dollars. And we know AIPAC is it's tricky because
not just AIPAC dollars, AIPAC and AIPAC affiliated dollars.
That's right, because AIPAC is really not supposed to be giving money.
She was on a mission of, this progressive left mission at this point.
Right. So AIPAC, for those who don't know, it is a group that is very pro-Israel, pro-everything dealing with Israel, supporting Israel, etc. Whether you like AIPAC or not, I'm just telling you what Jan Schakowsky said, that she could not, and she withdrew her support she didn't have to withdraw her support in that way. In the loudest way possible.
It might as well been the 250th United States celebration.
That's right.
The way that this was just broadcast all over the
That's
state.
right. She stood on business. But
right, and I'm sure that it was devastating to Donna Miller.
Well, especially to find out in that way. But here's the reason why I'm bringing that up.
But go ahead.
Donna Miller went on and won her primary, and she is all but assured of becoming a congresswoman.
Right.
Okay. Just a couple of days ago, an email went out showing that Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky is supporting Melissa Bean, who used to be Congresswoman, is no longer Congresswoman, because it was that seat that was Joe Walsh, Tammy Duckworth, Raja.
Right.
It has gone back and forth, and it was Melissa Bean's at one point. She lost it, I think.
Right.
She's supporting Melissa Bean, who also won her primary. But Melissa Bean won her primary after receiving about $4 million from an AIPAC-aligned group. What is the difference between Donna Miller and Melissa Bean that makes Jan Schakowsky, who's so against AIPAC, now she can support and host a fundraiser for, send out an email in her own name for Melissa Bean? This is what I'm saying.
Stop right there. And I got to tell the audience.
Okay.
So guys, yesterday, because we read Illinois Politico every morning, right? So Kim and I, we talk about, I swear we had this conversation yesterday before it was even in Politico. And we were talking, and you asked me you said, how is it that they miss the biggest part of the story?
Right.
Go ahead. How did they miss the biggest part of the story, which is... Go ahead.
Well, the part of the story is they went into the love fest. They went into the love fest between the two of them and how it wasn't a big deal and all of that. And I'm saying you withdrew your support in the loudest possible fashion from this black woman who was running for office.
Yeah.
And then you forgot about all your morals and scruples and you're supporting this other person and no one's saying anything about it.
And no one is saying the word.
Yes.
And so, again, we had this conversation yesterday, which we thought, Kim and I thought, that what we're discussing now should have been the main story.
That's right. You said they buried the lead.
That's how you bury a lead.
That's how you bury a lead. Mm-hmm.
You can make it a story when it's not. But the real story is that Jan Schakowsky screwed Donna Miller for whatever reason. I have nothing against Jan Schakowsky. I think she was a wonderful congresswoman, represented her district well. She was a friend to the black community, had nothing against her. But when you're wrong, you're wrong.
When you're wrong, you're wrong.
And what she said was, the reason why she's doing this, she says, it doesn't matter. We have one agenda, and that is to make sure that we get these seats, that we get back to Washington, we have control of the House, and repair the American people.
And I guess
you might as well have your hand on the Bible and said the oath of office.
But see, that begs the larger question.
That's the truth. You wouldn't have dismissed Donna Miller.
That's right. That begs the larger question, Perry. And when we come back, let's talk about that and take some calls. The larger question is.
My larger question is. No, I can't say that. Go ahead.
No, you can say it, but
no, I can't do that.
This idea of black people. And I'm going to take for granted for this conversation that this is a candidate. I want to take for granted that she will have something in her heart for black people. Okay. The agenda of what's happening with a lot of the people in her district, that what is good for black people.
Have you ever seen Melissa Bean on the south side of Chicago?
No, I'm not talking about Melissa Bean. I'm talking about Donna Miller. And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, now that we have to fight for all of America, we can support whoever AIPAC supported. But when the black woman was running, who might do something for the black community, that's not the larger picture for America. You understand?
Absolutely. See, we're saving America again.
We're saving America to the deficit of black people. 773-591-1690. That's unacceptable. We're going to take your calls when we come back from this break.
More coming up from Kimberley Agoin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, is an emergency life-saving procedure performed when cardiac arrest happens, when someone's heartbeat or breathing has stopped. Cardiac arrest is a leading cause of death in the world. Friends, knowing CPR can save lives. This is heart survivor Pam Morris Walton. The American Heart Association is committed to being a relentless force for a world of longer, healthier lives. So heart survivors like me can have more time to celebrate milestones. With CPR, the power to save a life is in your hands. You don't need medical training to learn, just knowledge, courage, and the willingness to act. Cardiac arrest can happen anywhere. Don't wait for help, become the help. Performed immediately, CPR can double or triple a person's chance of survival. CPR is a civic duty. Learn CPR or find a CPR class at heart.org/nation. That's heart.org/nation.
Hey, baby! I'm your Magnolia Blues man, Sir Henry Cheatham, inviting you to join us on WVON 1690 for some real American music and culture. Here on Classic Blues and R&B. Check us out Saturday, 11 p.m. until 2 a.m. on WVON and Classic Blues and R&B.
Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
Oh, I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON. Back to Kimberley Agoin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back having a great conversation with Perry Small. Perry, I'm just tired of it. I'm so tired of anything that's happening with black people not being important enough for the larger whatever agenda, but they always want everyone to come together when everyone seems to be in jeopardy. Like when everything that's happened with Trump, this is the first time that everyone, oh, look at what's happening. And this stuff's been happening to black people forever. I'm just tired of it.
Jim crack corn, and I don't care.
I know. I know. I know. I hear you.
I'm like, I got to the point, Kim.
Yeah.
And I used to talk about this with the listeners all the time. You get at some point you get tired of fighting for people who don't want to fight for themselves.
Okay.
At some point, and it's really an anomaly when you find men and women, especially these mothers that are out here that fight like hell after they've lost their children.
Yeah.
And you just wonder where they get it from. I don't have it in me.
You don't even have it in you anymore.
No. And I don't feel bad about it. Not to say that I am a person that sits on the sidelines, and clearly I care about it because I read everything. I have these conversations on a regular basis with people that I respect, like yourself, and sometimes it gets to the point where when I ask myself, when are you going to stop torturing yourself? But I really would like to hear from the listeners.
I would too, and I'm going straight to the line, 773-591-1690. Natalie, you're on VON.
Hello, Kimberly. Hello, Perry. How are you?
Hello.
Hey, Natalie.
Well, first of all, anti-black sentiment is coming from both sides and always has been. And so let's start there. Secondly, is Pritzker the best person to criticize anybody? Because I still haven't gotten over. Because for me, the way I interpreted his comment, all black people are offensive. He just happens to be a little less offensive. So I couldn't get past that. For me, personally,
because he said that.
And no one even makes a deal out of that. He said it, and he moved right on.
No, they got the black community come to us and say, he's sorry, So is he the right person to be criticizing anybody? And the way he's moving, when you look at all the state jobs, when you look who's getting those state jobs, you go over there to getting the police officer, with the state over there on 26th Street and see who's coming in over there. When you see all these desirable jobs, when you look on who's doing this contracting, anti-black sentiment is everywhere, coming from all sides. He's standing behind elections.
It doesn't matter if they're in the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, Libertarian or whatever. From immigrants, migrants, it comes from everyone. And so in my opinion, until we can come together, and I think this is really, I do, Natalie and Kim, Trump and all of this MAGA and this nonsense is probably the best thing and the best education that African Americans, I'm talking about African Americans, I ain't talking about nobody else. This is the best lesson we could have learned, and I think we're going to come out of this so much stronger. I swear to God,
I hope we do.
Bottom of my soul.
I hope we do, unless we start fighting with each other.
Once again, it's going to be African Americans leading the way.
I don't know, Barry. We're in such a weakened state. I hope we come out of it stronger, because what tends to happen is we tend to start.
We're not in that weak of a state, not with all of the black millionaires and billionaires we have.
Well, what does that mean, though? They're millionaires and billionaires. How does that translate into?
I think that they're waking up too.
How does that translate into anything so far for us? How with this? You got millionaires and billionaires. How's that helping?
I'm not expecting them to. I for some reason, call me, Pippi Longstocking or Pollyanna or whoever. Or Kizzy. I don't know.
Kizzy.
I just think.
Call me Toby.
I just think that by some divine intervention, we as a people are going to come together, and because I see it and feel it every day, just in my spirit. I swear, I've never seen Juneteenth celebrated the way it was celebrated this year.
Okay.
I've never seen that, and it was celebrated with purpose. Okay. People knew why they were celebrating it.
I mean, we're always there for a good celebration, Perry. We're always there for a good party and a celebration, a big gala and everything else.
They did it with purpose.
But how is it translating?
An intention.
Are you a little concerned? And you know what, Perry, hang over with me, okay? Because you brought up something I think that is important. We're always there for a party, a concert, a sporting event, a gala. We love to shake our tail. We love to do all of that.
Not me.
Well, I'm just saying
give me a good protest.
I'm even beyond protest though, because you can't just keep protesting.
Well,
they want us to protest. When do we actually make? We have people in office, so when does that translate into real? Demonstrative, I hate the word change, policies, so that we don't look like we're traveling backwards at 100 miles per hour in so many areas.
Well, first of all, the best thing is just let's get these young people engaged. Get them engaged. And then you can't engage them and keep them there for 30 years waiting for one spot to open up in public service.
So you think that it's the young people are going to be the difference, even though they've been taught by so many foul people.
Anyway, they're going to be different anyway.
773-591-1690. We got to take a break, Perry.
Corporate America the flux.
We got to take a break because we're going to definitely talk about that, and we're also going to talk about the split between CTU and SEIU. Yes, guys, it happened. And these elections coming up, we're going to see what that truly means for these elections. We'll do all that and more right after this break for news, traffic, and weather.
I hope you're making the best of this grand and glorious day. I'm KP, in for Logan Page, and in the headlines, Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul has joined efforts to extend the temporary protected status for Haitians. Chicago's Gospel Fest is returning to Millennium Park today and tomorrow. On Saturday, WVON's very own gospel sister Pam Morris-Walton will be honored by Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. And it's WNBA All-Star Weekend in the Windy City. Lots of activities happening today at Wintrust, but the actual game happens tomorrow at the United Center. The Black Information Network is next on Chicago's original social media platform, 1690 AM WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
I'm Kevin Brown on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network. Tropical storm Bertha is moving westward near the Louisiana coast as it heads toward Texas. NBC correspondent George Solis reports the storm made its first landfall about 40 miles east of New Orleans.
The storm continuing to move west. It is expected to make a second landfall near Galveston, Texas today as a weaker tropical storm. Still, the concern over some rain and some localized flooding cannot be ruled out. Many so grateful that this storm was not more severe.
Residents along the coast can expect up to 4 inches of rain as well as possible storm surge and flooding. The National Hurricane Center says Bertha is now about 145 miles west-southwest of the Big Easy, packing maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour. More than 11,000 cases of psychosporiasis are being reported, with 41 states reporting cases linked to the stomach parasite. The CDC says it's continuously monitoring the case count, and so are consumers.
I know it's pretty widespread, but in terms of total numbers, I think the cases are still relatively small.
So it's like, what's going on with that, right? I'm definitely wondering where it's coming from, because if I'm eating fruits and veggies, getting these smoothies.
I had a salad yesterday, and my stomach is really messed up today.
Officials say one multi-state outbreak is linked to iceberg lettuce, and Taylor Farms is one of the companies that's recalled iceberg lettuce sourced from central Mexico. Michigan so far has reported the highest number of cases, along with Ohio, New York, and North Carolina. Donald Trump and his allies are laying the groundwork to challenge Michigan's election results once again, as they sent election monitors to cities like Detroit ahead of the state's primary. The move is seen as part of a larger strategy to create distrust in the election process and intimidate officials. Trump's administration has a history of attacking Detroit and spreading election lies, making the presence of federal monitors questionable. Michigan voters and local officials plan to stand up to protect the integrity of the election process and ensure every eligible voter can cast their ballot safely and securely. A South Carolina man, John Andrew Felkel, has been sentenced to 9 years in federal prison for shooting at a black man due to his race. The incident occurred in July 2024 when Felkel shouted a racial slur and fired a rifle at Jarvis McKenzie, who narrowly escaped harm. McKenzie expressed the impact of the incident on his sense of safety in his neighborhood. Felkel admitted to the crime, citing mental health struggles and prescription drug abuse as contributing factors. In addition to his federal sentence, Felkel faces local charges for assault and hate intimidation, marking the first prosecution under Richland County's hate crime ordinance. A legal battle has erupted over Chadwick Boseman's estate, with his brothers seeking to remove his widow as administrator. The brothers claim that she's not properly distributed assets and has kept the family in the dark about the estate. They allege that Chadwick's parents are owed assets, including a life insurance policy and residuals, and that the widow has not been transparent about the estate's assets. The brothers are asking the court to appoint a new administrator to oversee the estate. Chadwick Boseman passed away in 2020 after a private battle with colon cancer, and his widow has accepted posthumous honors on his behalf. I'm Kevin Brown on your home for Black News First, the Black Information Network.
This Saturday, opportunity is under construction. Join the Rainbow Push Coalition and the African American Contractors Association for the 22nd Annual African American Contractors Day during a special edition of the Saturday Morning Forum. Hear from contractors, business leaders, labor representatives, elected officials, and the presidents of 4 Chicago city colleges as they discuss jobs, contracts, apprenticeships, workforce development, and building pathways to economic opportunity. Breakfast is at 8 a.m. The resource fair begins at 8:30, followed by the Saturday Morning Forum at 10 a.m. at the Rainbow Push Coalition headquarters, 930 East 50th Street in Chicago.
Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter.
We're up to way over 400 million here. Yeah, giving money back. How about that? People in Bellwood got 10 million, Broadview 6 million, Burnham 3 million, South Holland 17 million. The city of Chicago's up to $190 million that we have given back to African Americans. Who does that? Nobody does that but WVON.
Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter, Monday mornings at 11:30 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. Live from the Xfinity Studios, it's the station that America listens to. WVON, Berwyn, Chicago. It's Kimberley Agoin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
You are listening to the Matt McGill Show. He calls himself the Black Spartan. It's so funny. If you go on Facebook Live or on YouTube, you'll see he has this little icon of Matt McGill dressed up like a Spartan. It's so hilarious. I'm Kimberley Agoin, filling in for Matt McGill today. And joining me on the live line to just make this day all the more brighter is Perry Small. Perry, thank you so much for being on today and having these conversations with us.
I'm filling in for Matt McGill.
That's right. That's right. Have you seen his little Matt McGill icon?
Thank you for having me. These conversations are so important, and I love being able to have these conversations too.
And you always bring so much insight into these things. Now, before we went to the break, we were having this conversation about this idea of, in a perfect world. And you believe, I'm not saying you think it's a perfect world, but you think that Black people will come out stronger and more united because of what's happening with Donald Trump. I am feeling like I hope
to.
Okay.
I have to.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, I have to. And I know the way they stepped up for Nolan Wells, but did you notice there was a whole different kind of vibe with how the Nolan Wells story was being reported? There was a whole different kind. Nancy Grace kind of got in.
She just tried to just gangster it. Just now she's talking about it, and she's the authority.
Yeah, because you have to believe in some type of my spirituality.
Okay,
I believe there's sometimes some kind of divine intervention because I've been in too many situations where
that you were able to get out,
sugared,
yep.
and I believe that.
I got you.
And I just can't imagine any higher power being whatever to watch anyone suffer the way that African Americans have suffered in this country. I just can't. And I spend a lot of time reading comments now on we could be talking about anything, and it's always such anti-Black. Oh, they just want to check. Always looking for a payday. The things they say are just so vile and so nasty. And I said, there's not a spirituality, there's not a spirit out there that would allow this to continue to happen.
Well,
and I just happen to believe that.
And I appreciate that. I believe that. And I think that is what has kept us in the game for 400 years, right? But the other thing that I also pay attention to is that sometimes you can get in your own way. I can't cuss on air because this is a radio station.
No, I
but
know.
Sometimes
I'll
you can
say whatever you wanted to say.
You can F up boiling water in some
dream.
cases. Okay.
Yeah,
so
I get it.
when you've got Democrats who are in power, and because they will not pay attention to what's happening with poor people, black people.
Yeah.
They pick and choose. They've decided immigrants are the flavor of the month. They will pay attention to that.
Yeah.
But they won't pay attention. They'll even pay attention to
Don't forget Hispanics,
Latinos and Palestinians.
And you found out in the last general election as well as the primaries
that
they don't vote.
Or they don't vote for you. Because it's pretty evenly split. When they do vote, they I don't even know what goes into there. Somebody should do a whole PhD dissertation on what goes into there. How do you vote for Trump? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's getting rid of all your people. But anyway, I'm just saying that we're not the chosen people. And you have an opportunity to live up to what it is you say you are. The other side is telling everybody we're not about that, so we're not even going to lie to you. So you get in your own way. And that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at even with what's happening down in Springfield. Down in Springfield, they've got the super majorities on everything in Springfield. And look at what they're doing. They're imploding. You have the Democratic National Committee. They have all of the ill will toward Donald Trump, MAGA, et cetera, because they have shown their absolute tail with all of the decisions that they've been making, all of the illegal tariffs, all of the everything. And they're infighting, trying to just having an infight about what the Democratic, you know, they're in a rules committee now.
The infight is the progressives versus the regular Democrats, which is a stupid argument. It's a stupid argument. I think all of us want the same thing.
But do we, though? Perry, you don't think that in the last years, let's say 20 years, that the Democratic Party has talked more about helping poor people than they've actually done? And when you look at the actual politicians, the money that they have.
Haven't done anything since 1960.
Okay, so then how can you say that it's not a real argument when you have people saying, no, you're not representing what Democrats really want? Do you see what I'm saying? How can you say?
That's why when I look at somebody like a Wes Moore and a Dana Dash sits up there and tries to bait him in a conversation about how dangerous a Mondani is, or a guy running in Denver is who has an Arab name or something like that, or has progressive policies, and how that's dividing the party, it upsets me. You can't tell me who to choose, and don't you think I know a lunatic when I see one? Don't you? Well, I don't know trust everyone.
I trust you do, and I think I do.
I think that I would be able to say, and I don't think, and I'll just say to you and everybody else, I don't find Mr. Mondami as a threat to any of us.
I mean, all I hear is that he's trying to get stuff for his people.
Running that off.
He's trying to get stuff for his people because for too long, New York City has been completely unaffordable. Totally unaffordable.
Moving out in droves.
In droves, yeah. 773-591-1690. I'm going to go to the phone lines. Let's go to Jeanette. Jeanette, you're on VON.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, Kimberly.
Hello.
And hello, Perry. Yeah,
Hi.
this has been on my heart for a long time. What is going on with Jasmine Crockett not wanting to support?
Oh, I'm so glad you brought her up.
The Democratic guy who's running for senator. Doesn't she realize that we need that Senate seat? I've lost respect for her.
Who is the we though, Jeanette? So again, before you came online,
she's not supporting Tallarico.
Well, she's not actively out there. But here's the thing. So let's go back. This is the conversation.
Not doing anything to hurt them.
Right. Exactly.
Okay,
Which is what they did.
She made the statement that she is not going to support him.
No, she didn't say that. And I'll look it up. If I missed something, I stand corrected. What I saw was that she was not going to be on the campaign trail. They had not asked her to be out on the campaign trail. But Jeanette, do you remember the whole primary where they tore her apart for being a black woman?
Yeah.
Do you remember any of that? Do you remember? Because we know that these are elections and things get heated. But every opportunity they did, they didn't just they said
a black woman. She endured something I've never seen done to a black female
was not qualified.
candidate.
He was better because he was central casting. You don't want big mouth Jasmine Crockett, even though the Democrats used her as the attack dog, not putting her down as a dog, but used her as what you would call an attack dog in a good way. So I'm just saying, when you diminish somebody just because of their race and their sex, and then you turn around and you're going to need all of that race and all of those women to come.
But see, the bottom line is this is bigger than her. We need that Senate seat.
So Jeanette, that's what we were talking about. You asked a question, and that's what we were talking about a few minutes ago. You cannot continue to trash black people when it's time for you to at least give them a fair shot. Treat them like trash. Treat their issues like trash. Treat their leaders like trash. Treat their agenda like it's nothing. Then when you need them, the issue is bigger. You can't continue to do that. I don't know what's going to happen with that race.
Doing to us now, the issue is
it's bigger. It's bigger.
I am going to compromise my beliefs because I really see the bigger picture.
She couldn't do anything because you can't elect a black woman. If you put the black woman there. Now, they didn't even give this woman a chance for no good reason, whether you like her or not. She represents her district the same way he does whatever he does. And now the same people who you completely pissed off
to save them.
Black women are the mules to save everybody. See, that's the thing.
Every time.
That's the thing. So whatever happens with that race happens. I mean, I don't know.
If people don't remember, Jasmine Crockett was called everything from a fraud because she wasn't a real ghetto person.
How about this? They took FCC. Perry, during elections with the whole FCC rules, you can't have candidates on unless you're given equal time. You know that from being here.
Yeah.
They did a whole show on Stephen Colbert with that guy. They didn't bring her on for anything. I mean, this was bigger than just talking about it. It was taking away opportunities. And now you need black people. And she said, okay, well, get your black people. Get them. I mean, how can I say anything against that? 773-591-1690. We keep trashing black people, leaving them out of the conversation, and then say this is going to impact all of us, but you didn't care when it was just impacting black people. We're going to take your calls when we come back from this break for traffic and weather.
More coming up from Kimberley Agoin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi, it's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
In July, Vaughn TV has your summer watch list covered. Go behind the headlines with the official launch of Portraits in Color, featuring candid conversations with music executive Matthew Knowles, community leader Jotaka Edie, and actress Danielle Truitt.
My family's very proud. It was very cool to, when the show first came out and to see myself in those credits, dun, 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 and like, that's me. That's crazy, It is very cool to be a part of the legacy of Law & Order now.
And that's just the beginning. Premiering this month, Serenity, Strength, and Style with Sylvia Ewing and Friends, a fresh new series featuring inspiring conversations about health, wellness, creativity, and living life to the fullest. This July, there's something for everyone on Vaughn TV. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV Plus, the WVON app, or at Vaughn.tv. Vaughn TV, for the culture, by the culture.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Point. Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
Ugh, I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
This is your host and life coach, Linnell Harris, and I want you to join me every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for Inspirational Perspective. On Inspirational Perspective, we talk life vision, life purpose, and the show is all about helping you live the best life possible. So join me as we look at supporting you in living the life you intend to live and making your life's vision a reality. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 a.m. WVON.
Back to Kimberly Agoin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back. Perry Small, Kim McGill, having a conversation here. I want to go straight to the phone lines. Darva, you're on VON. Darva?
Hello.
Hi.
Yes, I'm here. God bless the both of you.
You too.
Kimberly and Perry. I just want to say I'm listening to you guys. It's a lot. There is a lot that's going on. And I do agree with Perry when she said that we're going to change. But everybody's not part of the change.
Right.
Some people are going to have to die off. And I said that, just like when when Moses had to lead the people, to the promised land, and Pharaoh, which is nothing but a name of an entity. We have a lot of pharaohs right here in the city of Chicago. Pharaoh is people that are controlling other people, and God will get rid of them too, just like he did all the pharaohs. But today we have pharaohs here in the city. I will say that I do agree with you too, my sister, but it has to do what it does. We have to go back to God, to Yahweh, to make things the right way. And then when we get to go that way, everybody's not going to come. The young people are the people that they keep calling the team takeover. Those were the same teams, it was Joshua and Caleb, that did the makeover or takeover what the grown-ups have done. And so the 70, 89-year-old, they stood up, they spoke up. They did. They followed Martin Luther King, Malcolm, and the rest of them. Then to get to our group, the 40, 50, 60-year-old, we did all the abortions, the drugs, the homosexuality. We did the gangs. We did all of the terrible stuff while our grandmothers and mothers had been riding for freedom like they did coming out of slavery. So we are the ones that shut up and we sat down. The Joshua and Caleb, those are the ones that are going to take over. They're coming up. Watch out and pray what's going to happen. Watch.
Well, I want to thank you for that, Darva. Perry, I was just looking at something because this whole Nolan Wells thing has got me. It's a terrible thing that happened. So I'm not conflicted about that. Not at all. Nobody should die like that. Every day the story gets worse and worse.
We don't know how he died.
Well, we know it was bad.
Died.
It was bad.
I'll tell you this.
The boy's throat is missing in the autopsy. So it's something they don't want you to know what happened to him.
I'll just say this. The smoking gun are his lungs.
Yeah.
Because if they're not full of water, he did not drown.
Yeah, but even if he did drown, I mean, I'm saying drown.
No, you can't drown. There's water in your lungs when you drown.
No, but this is what I'm saying.
And
let's say he had
bloated.
water in his lungs and he drowned. You can get cracked in the back of the head or in the throat, windpipe crushed. Anything could have happened. Something is wrong with this whole thing. But I'm not even getting into that because it's terrible.
Right.
Just found out that his last name is Wells because guess who he's related to? Ida B. Wells.
Really?
He's related to Ida B. Wells, which is one of the reasons why. That's like his mother's maiden name. This is what I'm reading in real time on Facebook. That's not his father's last name. She wanted to keep her last name, give him her last name for that connection. Now, the question I have is, it's going to sound
Are they
bad.
from Chicago?
I don't know. There, it looks like
Ida B. Wells' family is here.
Well, but that not all her family. She wasn't born here. She was born in Mississippi.
A lot of her living family is here.
Well, here's the thing. Did they teach him any of her teachings? Anything about what Ida B. Wells stood for? Anything that she said about how people look at black men and about what the relationship between black people and white people and the things that she was fighting for her entire life? I mean, let's not go blowing up the fact that he's related to her now, because it don't look like, and that's just me looking at it. I literally just read this. This whole thing has got my mind messed up. What happened with that boy?
It is. It's terrible. I mean, I feel people's pain, and as I had said earlier, as I read the comments, it's always they're trying to get a check. Why does everything have to be racism? Because everything is racism in this country. And if you don't look at inequities, and even the things that aren't racism, you have to look, we live in a corrupt country. And those with power will take advantage of their power.
Yeah. 773.
People are dying all over Europe from the Epstein files, and everybody in the United States is just fine.
Tommy, you're on VON with me and Perry Small.
First of all, let me just say this very quickly. Miss Perry Small, thank you for the years. I go all the way back with you and Matt with the morning drive and your climactic exit with Vigilante Inc. That individual still haven't seen. And to you, Miss Kim, there are no words to express every time you come on the airwaves the things that you bring from the interview of the young man who was getting his behind whooped for all that time to where we are right now with what we're talking about right now. And see, I understand Miss Perry clearly, because I lived the entire civil rights movement and didn't even understand it and didn't know it until I got drafted and came back and got in trouble, and then would hear a black woman say, in case my men haven't heard it, I believe in you. And that would be Melody Span Cooper with Hermine Hartman. And from that moment to this moment, I tuned in to WVOA and changed my entire life.
Wow.
But there is no words for where we are now. Because my mama used to always tell me there are two things, son, that you need to recognize and understand. One, you're going to fear God because he's in heaven. Two, you're going to fear me because I'm right here on earth. And I taught you to have enough sense to use common sense to recognize and understand they don't like you. They have never liked you. They never will like you. Recognize who you are, what you are. You are a black man. Stand on your feet, your heritage, your understanding, and you are somebody. Goodbye.
I want to thank you for that. Thank you so much. I don't know what interview I did with somebody who was getting their tail beat up and down the street. What interview was that? I don't even know what time. But I appreciate everything you said, Tommy. 773-591-1690. We're going to take a quick break for news, traffic, and weather. When we come back, Lewis, we're going to get your call first. We'll be right back after this break.
Happy Friday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here's what's happening in your local and national news. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul is fighting for Chicago's Haitian community. WVON's intern, Kayla Patton, has more.
Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul has joined efforts to extend the temporary protected status for Haitians. In an exclusive WVON interview, he tells Rufus Williams this morning that his fight is fueled by racist rhetoric coming directly from the White House.
the president made the misstatement of Haitians eating cats and dogs. And so one of the things we have to do also is just call out the racism of the president, the racism of the Supreme Court, ignoring the nature of the statements coming out of the president's mouth. Because, and what people have to understand, one of the challenges to the decision was that it was based on discrimination. And the Supreme Court just rejected that.
Attorney General Raul is part of a coalition of 20 attorneys who are asking Congress to pass legislation that would provide judicial oversight and set up a pathway to permanent residency. Kayla Patton, Our News Now, 1690 WVON.
In other news, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker is making sure that the legacy of Emmett Till and his mother, Mamie Till Mobley, will be remembered tomorrow. The governor signed legislation yesterday that designates July 25th as Emmett Till Day in Illinois. Till was an African-American young teen from Chicago who was kidnapped, beaten, and brutally murdered in Mississippi by white supremacists in 1955. The corner of 71st and Kedzie will be dedicated tomorrow as Mamie and Emmett Till Road. In other news, Apollo 11 splashed down 57 years ago today after making its historic moon landing days earlier. Astronauts Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins were recovered by the USS Hornet after their successful splashdown in the Pacific Ocean. The crew was placed in isolation aboard the aircraft carrier and taken to Hawaii to begin a 21-day quarantine. NASA called it a precautionary step to ensure no unknown lunar material or organism posed a risk to Earth. The Apollo 11 mission marked an important milestone in space exploration, remains one of NASA's greatest achievements. And LeBron James is signing with the Philadelphia 76ers. He made the announcement on X. ESPN says it's a 2-year deal worth $8 million. James said he was pretty sure he played his last game, but after some thought, he believes he can help bring a championship back to the city of Philadelphia. He thanked Miami and Northeast Ohio as he reportedly was considering going to the Heat and Cavaliers. James also thanked the city of Los Angeles, where he just spent the last 8 seasons playing for the Lakers, winning the NBA title in 2020. I'm Logan Page, and that's what's happening in your news now on WVON 1690 AM.
It's Rufus Williams. The thrill of summer is finally here, which also means it'll be over before we know it. This fall, the Rufus Williams Travel Club is heading to Charleston, South Carolina, October 8th through the 12th. Join me as we experience the beauty, the brilliance, and the culture of one of America's most captivating cities. We'll enjoy the charm of the Lowcountry, breathtaking scenery, incredible cuisine, and the rich African-American history of Charleston. There will also be a few special surprises designed just for our group. So whether you're traveling alone, with family, or with friends, you'll be welcomed into an unforgettable experience filled with great people and great memories. Space is limited, and the best rates are right now. Simply go to WVON.com, click on the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner, and reserve your space. Advantage International is the official travel partner of the Rufus Williams Travel Club. Charleston, South Carolina, October 8th through the 12th. Travel with people, travel with purpose, travel with us.
Ada S. McKinley provides behavioral and mental health services at 4 Southside clinics. They serve people of all ages with a strong focus on therapy, counseling, and youth crisis. Their counselors and mental health professionals are well-trained and experienced in treating problems caused by emotional distress and or trauma. To schedule an appointment, call 312-761-1099 or visit adasmckinley.org.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley, inviting you to join me weekdays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on WVON. I am bringing you a national perspective on all the happenings in the black community and, of course, politics. It's talk radio for us, by us, and this is where America listens.
It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays from 6 to 9 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This is your host and life coach, Linnell Harris, and I want you to join me every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for Inspirational Perspective. On Inspirational Perspective, we talk life vision, life purpose, and the show is all about helping you live the best life possible. So join me as we look at supporting you in living the life you intend to live and making your life's vision a reality. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 a.m. WVON.
Back to Kimberly Agoin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back. Kim Agoin, Perry Small, talking with the WVON audience. Let's take Lewis. Lewis, you're on VON.
Okay.
Hey, Lewis.
We will see.
We will see, yes.
Okay, here we go. You said something about him being related to Ida B. Wells, right?
I did.
We didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I just found out 3 seconds ago.
Okay, when you said that, then that put it into a perspective for me.
Okay.
This is what we're looking at. Our civil rights group are losing momentum. That's what I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this is what I mean. Have you ever listened to Operation Push on Saturday?
You mean now? After?
Yeah.
After?
No, is that on Saturday or
No,
Sunday?
you mean after after Reverend Jackson passed away?
Yeah, well, anytime. If you listen to Operation Push, you'll hear that the membership then went down so bad that right now they'll say, who wants to donate $500, $250?
Yeah, I've seen
stuff
that.
like that.
I've seen that.
You know, and so right now, what's happening is that those groups, those civil rights activist groups, NAACP, Operation Push, Al Sharpton's group, because he's got that meeting going on the 28th of August.
The march on Washington.
Right, right. And so we have to energize the people. So we need something to energize them with. So we going to take this death and we going to use it to energize the people.
But how sad is that? That's so sad. That is such a sad commentary. Somebody's got to die.
Wait,
because you know what? Because I've got to say this, Kim.
Yeah.
I questioned at first why they would make the announcement from Chicago at the NAACP.
Well, that's because they were there.
convention.
Right.
But they were here.
Right.
And our Operation Push is here, and then Al Sharpton, and right now they're going after the government is going after the SCLP, Southern Christian Leadership and Poverty.
So, but let's look at it this way.
You know,
Let's look at it
exposing them
this way.
for
We
fraud,
can't keep using white on black death as our thing to rally the truth. I mean, do you know how many black people were just shot and killed here in the city of Chicago yesterday? I mean, like, right down the street. So they got shot right down the street from the Obama Center. You know, that's going to be the new benchmark for shootings, down the street from the Obama Center. All right, two people got shot in their car. One of them died. The other one, I think, is in the hospital. Someone got shot in Uptown. And I want to thank you for that, Lewis. And I know that in the past, Emmett Till, what happened to Emmett Till, a lot of people said that was the rallying cry. But what
the civil rights movement.
We have to keep doing this. It's got to be a white on black killing or death. I mean, we haven't learned anything enough to just know that our situation is not that great as it is.
But you know, when that did happen, you know why that was so significant then and why it doesn't work now? Because all of black people, we were all on the same playing field.
That's it. We were all at the same level.
You did not have, it was an aberration.
Yeah.
If there was a black millionaire, it was an aberration if someone was $100 heir.
It goes back to my point, Perry. We can have all the black millionaires and billionaires that we can have in the world, but if it's not a net gain, and I'm not talking about people taking all their money or doing whatever, but I'm looking at what happens in other communities.
But we're missing the opportunity. White people and other people are so upset with ICE and migrant. After they're going after these migrant people, they're about to explode. You've got MAGA people that are upset with ICE. I look at this as an opportunity for African Americans.
I wanted to.
They've been benefiting off Black people's teeth since we've been here.
I know it's an
Literally and
opportunity.
figuratively.
I get it. It is an opportunity, but we've had opportunities. Will we actually capitalize off of it? That's my question. As we fight amongst ourselves, will we actually capitalize, or will we continue to look at with suspicion of anyone who's not in our income level or our education level? Or will people not try to build themselves up to get better than where they are? We got teens running the street. We got elected officials who are enriching themselves and not doing what they need to. Everybody has to play their part. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, Perry. We're not maximizing from each one of the roles that we all have in order to really make this work for us. That's what I'm saying. I'm very concerned about that.
I'm hopeful. And that's all I can be. I'm unlike you.
No, I want to be hopeful.
I don't have as many summers left.
Keep hope alive. I want to keep hope alive. And I was just thinking, if Reverend Jackson had been here, I think that Speaker Welch would already been there on Saturday. And pushed everything. He would have already been at push. You remember when we talked about that there's no Reverend Jackson anymore to do those types of things, to have that.
And like I said, the reason why I enjoy talking to you, and as I'm looking at the comments that the listeners love hearing from you, Kim, is because when just the question you asked me yesterday, and we just went right to the juggernaut and said, the press is missing the story. It's not about Melissa B. the Tchaikovsky. The story is how hypocritical it is you did not feel that way, and that she was expendable.
She was expendable.
That Commissioner Donna Miller, her friendship, her
20-year friendship,
her winning that seat was expendable.
20-year friendship.
Because for God's sake, I believe that these APACs are just poisoning our system in terms of how we move on with this country and in this country. And did she not do that?
Yeah.
And suddenly that conscience just left, gone.
We're just gone.
And then just left, and it was masterful. Because before anybody could even ask her, she knew someone was going to say, but isn't that why you did it to that Black woman in the south suburbs? Isn't that why you abandoned her campaign in the 11th hour? And might as well, as I had said before, done it on the bicentennial.
Sure should have. As loud as you did it. As loud as
they did it.
Well, talking about people abandoning each other, Perry, you know that through the years, the Chicago Teachers Union, which is
let's talk about this.
Chicago Teachers Union and SEIU, two major unions and political players in the city of Chicago, in the country, really. SEIU represents about 17,000 CPS, Chicago Public School employees. And
SEIU was groundbreaking in Chicago.
Well, 160,000 workers.
Changed the game for across the nation.
Well, 160,000 workers across the state. CTU has 30,000 CPS, but they only have 30,000 CPS members. But Stacey Davis Gates also leads the Illinois Federation of Teachers, more than 100,000 members. Here's the thing: they have been working in lockstep with each other. Look, I ran for office. I know. Anybody, if you didn't get one of their endorsement, you weren't getting the other. They put their money together behind all of the people, and that's who won the race then. But what is going to happen now that the Chicago Public School Board is fully elected? They have made a split, Perry. They have one, CTU is endorsing for the president of the board. For the first time, it's going to be an elected president of the school board. They are endorsing their former political director, Hilario Dominguez. And the person who is being endorsed by SEIU is Jessica Biggs, who happens to be the rep for my community. Maybe yours too, I don't know, but definitely mine. So they're making a split. Now, if you saw last year, you started to see some of the issues. They used to spend all their money together. They had PACs, like together they spent over $4.6 million in Mayor Brandon Johnson's campaign. That's a lot of money. But at one point, CTU gangstered. They gangstered.
Yeah,
SEIU's members.
Nostra.
They tried to take their members, get them reclassified so they would be under CTU. They were raiding their members. And ever since, they have been on opposite sides of several issues. This is according to WBEZ, including...
I just came up with that one in my mind.
Cosa Nostra. You got a little gangster in you, Perry. So workers from both unions are losing their jobs because of this CPS budget, but they had different ideas about how the budget should be approached. This is huge for these elections.
It is huge.
Tuesday, so we know that the CPS board, that election, that ballot is set. They will be running in November, but the mayoral and aldermanic elections, which take place next year, they're starting to circulate officially on Tuesday. What do you think is going to happen here with these two unions?
I think the CTU is running out of money.
Yeah.
There was a lot of money flowing after COVID. There was a lot of money flowing, under Biden. I don't know if people realize there's a union busting event going on right now. The Art Institute is firing all of its janitors and using a third party now for all their janitorial skills. Mm-hmm. It's just union busting. Mm. And I will say teachers unions across the country, unfortunately, is the most hated union in the country. I've never seen such hatred, and I don't have any idea why outside of what I've seen here in Illinois. But if the entire teacher union culture is anything that we see, around the country is what we see here in the city of Chicago, no wonder it's just kind of poisoning the whole union pot. I mean, it's bad. If you look at MAGA and the far right, the first thing they're going after now are teachers unions. So they're not going after the Teamsters. They're not going after the longshoremen. They're going after the teachers unions.
And never the police unions.
Never the policing, never the police unions, never law enforcement. And what that anti-union, well, we saw what happened here in Chicago. You don't have any black teachers. We had 70% black teachers. You had master teachers. They were all fired. I'm not too keen on who's sitting up in that union right now. I tell you this, it's not Robert Healy. And it's not
Jacqueline Vaughn, which is the first person I had ever heard of. And you said that Healy was her mentor.
Yeah, her mentor. The first time any white Democrat male had done something so significant as elevate that black woman to be, and she was the finest. She surpassed him.
She was a standard bearer.
In her abilities of what she did as a union president.
She was a standard bearer. 773-591-1690. We're going to wrap up this conversation right after this break with your calls.
More coming up from Kimberley Agoin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Chicago, need documents notarized fast and professionally. CT Consulting, notary services has you covered. Walk in, schedule an appointment, or connect remotely through our online electronic notarization services. From mortgages and estate planning to affidavits and travel documents, we do it all. Located at 75th and Dorchester. Call Camille today at 872-901-2212. 872-901-2212. CT Consulting, notary services, making notarization simple, convenient, and professional.
Some people wait for the future, others build it.
WVON proudly presents the 2026 40 Game Changers Under 40. This year, it's a compass celebrating the navigators of next. Do you know an entrepreneur, community change agent, rising executive, educator, innovator, or a creator who is 40 or under and doing great work to help shape the future of Chicago? Or is that someone you? Now through July 17th, we're taking nominations. Visit 40gamechangers.com to submit your nominee. And then keep listening for updates on this year's exciting celebration. In 2026, our compass is on the navigators of next, because Chicago's future belongs to the people bold enough to lead it. Sponsored by BMO.
Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
Oh, I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run, because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's Cleopatra Draper.
I liken myself to be a great listener, and what I just heard was rhetoric. You gone on MAGA-land, and they got you real good. And I don't know if you can come back to reality, but in reality, those insurrectionist thugs that you are acknowledging that attacked police officers that they proclaim that they love, that attacked the halls of Congress that we say that we love, that attacked the Constitution and was not only pardoned, but was almost granted reparations, is a slap in the face for the Constitution that you saying you're fighting for.
Middays at 9 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hey everybody, this is Kendall Moore, The Kendall Moore Show, getting you from your work week to your weekend each and every Friday night from 6 until 9 p.m. I get you from your work week to your weekend. Church and Tabernacle.
Kendall Moore, radio for the next generation on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM WVON. Back to Kimberley Ogoin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back, about to wrap up this conversation, which has been so good, with Perry Small. Of course, we're talking about CTU. What does this look like? I don't think CTU has the money to fund candidates coming up. I don't know what SEIU has.
No, that's why they asked for their. Remember, they asked for their union members for a for an increase, and they told them hell no.
They said no, we're not doing that.
No,
because there was the amount of money that's actually being spent. Now, this is according to them. The amount of money that's actually being spent on the needs of teachers and educators was like, I don't even know if it was 10%. Almost everything was going toward political operations in the union.
And administration.
Let's go straight to the phone line. 773-591-1690. MK, you're on VON. MK?
Oh, hey, how you good ladies doing?
Hey.
I'm just glad to know you.
How are you?
Okay. Well, Perry, one of the things is, I've been in politics a long time, so I was a baby. I think the school teacher things will be all right, but I wanted to talk about the NAACP. Where's the organization here, Perry? I haven't heard nothing since the team takeover 20 years ago. Have you heard anything? What's going on? I know Cliff and them used to run it and everything. I'm an old man now. So, you ladies know anything about it?
Wait, you're asking about the overall NAACP?
No, our chapter here.
Okay, we've got the South
seriously
Side.
know.
We've got the West Side. There's probably a South Suburban.
You know, where they at? We don't hear no names, anything.
I can't disagree. I know they do some stuff on the West Side,
You
but
know, they had a team takeover 20 years ago. So I know Clifford was all did everything and got put out by Gator Bradley and them, but everything was here last week. You know, they're so disrespectful now, even the Urban League. When I was a young man, when I walked in the building when I was 18 years old, I was sitting by a certain alderman and even by the mayor back then. And I got everything I wanted. Everybody worked together. All these Republican aldermen, MAGA aldermen now, ex-policemen, ex-firemen, and they disrespect the mayor. I tell you what, even little Mayor Daley Jr., he had a bunch of good black women behind me because they sure know how to take care of business and put everybody in line. They got what they wanted. So, Perry, I love you. I want you to get my story from me being a kid all the way in politics. So,
all right.
I'll get that with you. If not, I had to give it to.
Thank you so much, MK. He said that the black women did good under Daley.
Well, that's a lie.
I was just gonna say. Now you saw the transition. You worked for Harold Washington, so there was a lapse.
If he's talking about Richard M. Daley.
I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have kept him on there. I don't know which one.
I know it wasn't good for any women under old man Daley.
Goodness. And everybody called him old man Daley.
Except for women that lived in Bridgeport and were buried in Holy Sepulchre.
Wow. Okay. I don't know. I think we all have. Perry, what else are you working on, ma'am? What's going on with you in your neck of the woods?
Well, I am just keeping an eye on things. I do have a podcast. The Truth Never Retires. I'll let you know where you can listen to it. It's 4 episodes. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it, but I've got some plans of doing some other things with other folks. So stay tuned.
Well, it's always such a joy and a pleasure to have you on the air. I mean, I had to talk with you today.
But we talk almost every day, Kim.
I know, but still, I mean, think about it. The conversations that we have on the phone are great, but I think that this added a lot of value on air too. I'm just saying.
It really, you know why?
Why?
Because they didn't hit this angle. They just didn't hit those angles.
We always see things a different way.
Yeah, we kind of
with suspicion, Barry. With suspicion,
I can see around corners, and I've got a nose for news.
Yes, we're giving everything the side eye, and that's why.
Well, if you've been a pessimist as long as I have,
that's right.
You have to walk around with a side eye.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for being on here,
and
Perry.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
And I already thanked Matt.
Yeah,
so
thank him for being out. Thank him for being out.
Have a great weekend, everybody, and stay safe this summer. And I hope to run into you like I have, and to a lot of people this summer. Have a great one.
Have a great one, Perry. Such a great conversation, guys. Look, when we come back, this is interesting. This is interesting. Have you ever lost a loved one to violence? If so, there's an event coming up tomorrow at Morgan Park High School where you're going to get an opportunity to march in their memory. So this is a very serious thing. Joining me when we come back is Gianno Caldwell. You guys know him. He is a Fox News political analyst, so this is definitely going to be a good conversation. He's the founder of the Caldwell Foundation for Public Safety. You guys are familiar with him. We're going to have a discussion about the event and what brought him to the point of creating this foundation and having this event. We'll talk about that and more right after this break for news, traffic, and weather.
Hope you're having an amazing day, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news headlines. City shuts down popular Chicago nightclub. WNBA All-Star festivities ramp up today in Chicago. 4 more states linked to cyclospore outbreak. And DA responds to criticism in Nolan Wells case. National news from the Black Information Network is up next on Chicago's only urban talk radio station, 1690 AM WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
I'm Vanessa Tyler on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First. The next knock on the door could be ICE, and Haitians are terrified. Even more frightening, being shipped off to a danger zone. This woman has been living and thriving in America since 2005. Now she feels she could be heading to her death.
Right now, the gang, they control the country. So if I go in Haiti, wherever I live, they can kidnap me, they can kill me.
Also facing a sort of death, the economy, especially in places like Miami-Dade, Florida.
I always say what makes us so extraordinary is our diversity, but also that it is our greatest strength, and not just our diversity, but our unity.
Miami-Dade Mayor Daniela Levine says Haitians are model immigrants and is just cruel of Donald Trump to kick them out.
They're not simply part of our community, these Haitian Americans. They are a critical, indispensable part of our entire economy. And right now, this community, this economy faces an existential threat because of the ending of TPS.
They presented it as an immigration issue when it is also an economic issue that affects every American.
Miami-Dade County Commissioner Marlene Bastien, a Haitian immigrant herself and leader for all her constituents.
95% Haitian CPS holders are employed. Together, they contribute nearly $5.8 billion to the U.S. economy each year and pay approximately $1.5 billion in taxes. Studies estimate that ending TPS would cost the U.S. between $253 billion.
They say with about 350,000 Haitians under threat of deportation nationwide and nearly 100,000 in Miami-Dade, entire industries will be destroyed.
This is self-inflicted economic harm. And nowhere will we feel that harm more than in our healthcare system.
Also impacted, retail, hospitality, construction. But looming over it all, they say, is the cruelty. They say they realize it's temporary protected status granted when Haiti was unlivable due to the 2010 earthquakes. But now the country is rattling and rocked by violence, and they can't believe Trump's right-leaning Supreme Court ruled he can just snatch away TPS. And another layer to this tragedy, what about the children if their parents are deported?
If parents are deported with their American-born children, while their American-born children remain here, foster care costs alone could reach $5.6 billion every year.
They want Congress to extend the TPS for these black people who have built lives here and legally entered America.
This is not a Haitian immigration problem. This becomes every family's, every citizen's problem.
With Black News First, I'm Vanessa Tyler on the Black Information Network.
Summer is here, the season of sunshine, swimming, picnics, and the freedom to have fun and enjoy yourself. United Fidelity Bank believes freedom starts with smart savings. Whether you're hanging with friends and family or enjoying a summer night, your money should still be working for you. Open a United Fidelity Bank 18-month certificate of deposit with a 4.25% annual percentage yield. It's a simple, steady way to grow your savings, letting your money work for you. At United Fidelity Bank, they focus on you, your needs, your goals, your questions. Their personal service is something you will not find at a big box bank. Get the experience you need and the service you deserve. Stop by their Chicago flagship branch at 1701 West 87th Street to open your 18-month 4.25% APY CD today, or visit UnitedFidelity.com. United Fidelity Bank, where your summer of smart savings begins. Rates subject to change at any time. CDs renew automatically at the standard rate in effect at the time of renewal unless instructed otherwise. Member FDIC.
This Saturday, opportunity is under construction. Join the Rainbow Push Coalition and the African American Contractors Association for the 22nd Annual African American Contractors Day during a special edition of the Saturday Morning Forum. Hear from contractors, business leaders, labor representatives, elected officials, and the presidents of 4 Chicago city colleges as they discuss jobs, contracts, apprenticeships, workforce development, and building pathways to economic opportunity. Breakfast is at 8 a.m. The resource fair begins at 8:30, followed by the Saturday morning forum at 10 a.m. at the Rainbow Push Coalition headquarters, 930 East 50th Street in Chicago.
Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter.
We're up to way over $400 million here. Yeah, giving money back. How about that? People in Bellwood got $10 million, Broadview $6 million, Burnham $3 million, South Holland $17 million. The city of Chicago's up to $190 million that we have given back to African Americans. Who does that? Nobody does that but WVON.
Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas with Black Houses Matter, Monday mornings at 11:30 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. Live from the Xfinity Studios at WVON, it's the Cleopatra Show on Chicago's essential storyteller, 1690 WVON.
You are listening to the Matt McGill Show. Maticus here on WVON 1690 AM, the Talk of Chicago. I'm Kimberley Egoin filling in. We've had a great couple of hours so far. Let's see. I'm about to give away some tickets. The DuSable Black History Museum and Education Center presents Ann and Emmett this Friday, that's today, at 7 p.m. and also Saturday, July 25th at 6 p.m. This is your chance to win tickets to see the powerful one-act play, imagining a conversation between Anne Frank and Emmett Till, 2 young lives whose stories changed the world. All you have to do is be caller number 2 right now at 773-591-1690 to win this pair of tickets. It's going to be live at the DuSable Museum, located at 740 East 56th Place. Tonight at 7 and tomorrow at 6 p.m. So give us a call, 773-591-1690 to try and get those tickets. And you know what? In a few minutes, we just had a great conversation. Someone online, let me make sure I get it right. Oh, Reby Ryan. She wrote me because I was just mentioning on air that, you got lots of people, everyone in our community has a role to play in our success, thriving. Eventually, if it keeps getting worse, our survival, okay? So everyone has a role to play. And how do you measure? She said, what are you using to measure whether we're maximizing those roles or not? So, it's real simple for me, just looking at the overall standard of life for Black people in this city and in this state. We're at the bottom of every metrics in this state. How we live, how our schools function, which is educating our entire future, how our neighborhoods measure, the resources that we have or don't have, the amenities that we have or don't have, the Capitol. I remember I had Speaker Jeffries on not too long ago and just asked him, as the person who's the Speaker of the House, you guys, Congress makes the rules, you govern how banks operate, you really decide whether banks are running afoul of lending. For example, we had a bank here in Chicago that was lending more money to the small community of Lincoln Park than all of the Black neighborhoods in the whole city. What can be done about that? How do you fix that? And he said, well, we need to start more Black banks. That's the wrong answer. That's something that our people who we send to office can do something about that. And I don't see where we're measuring up in those areas when we have the power to do it. those are just some of the ways. I mean, that's the best way. That's just a few things. And if you're not getting the same thing that other people are getting in their communities, then there's a failure somewhere. There just is. There's no if and this is not a mystery. It's not a big scientific experiment. You either are succeeding or you're failing. And that's it. I mean, really, that's really all it comes down to. There is an event tomorrow at Morgan Park High School where you will be able to march in the memory of anybody who you have lost to violence. It's organized by the Caldwell Foundation for Public Safety. In a few minutes, we'll be talking with Gianno Caldwell. I know he's definitely a friend to Matt's show. He's the founder of the Caldwell Foundation for Public Safety. He's a Fox News political analyst, which is how most of us know him. He established this foundation in honor of his innocent teenage brother, Christian, whose murder inspired a commitment to creating safer communities. That's the one thing that I have a big issue with, that the murder has to be of a white person against a black person for it to be a big deal, for it to get coverage by the major organizations, for there to be attorneys who get involved. And it has cheapened all the lives of those who don't die for racial issues in that way. I mean, I think all of it's a race issue. I think even when black people kill each other senselessly, it's because they really have no pride in themselves and been taught that black people aren't worth anything. So at the end of the day, it's all about race. But it should not take it being a white on black crime for it to get that type of coverage. And I think that that is a major area of dysfunction. We have, I will say, crime seems to have gone down, murders seem to have gone down in our community recently. So that's a good thing. I don't know what we're attributing it to, but we're just happy that they've gone down, right? So that's a really, really good thing. However, the amount of senseless crime, the young 15-year-old boy who just got killed on his grandmother's back porch, I mean, it's just crazy. And it doesn't make sense. We've gotten so used to it. And that's the thing, I haven't been on in a while. I was really sorry to see Superintendent Snelling leave, because I thought that he probably was a huge key to why crime went down. I think that police officers knew him. They knew his leadership, the way that he rose through the ranks. They said, 34 years of being in law enforcement, being a police officer. They trusted him. It looks like they followed his leadership and they believed in his leadership. And so I was sorry to see that he was going to retire. He did put his time in, so it's nothing that I can say about that. But I think that we really lost someone great when he decided that he was moving on. And it's just sad to me. It'll be interesting to see who the next person is to try and fill those shoes. Okay, joining us on the live line right now is Gianno Caldwell. He is the founder of the Caldwell Foundation for Public Safety. He's also a Fox News political analyst, and he has established a foundation, like I said, the Caldwell Foundation for Public Safety, in honor of his innocent teenage brother, Christian, whose tragic murder inspired a commitment to creating safer communities across America. Gianno, we want to thank you so much for joining us today. And we are very interested and excited to hear about the event that's taking place tomorrow.
Well, thank you for having me, sis. And I greatly appreciate the work that you're doing. I've been listening to your commentary. Spot on. Thank you. I got to tell you, June 24th, 2022, my life changed forever when my, as you mentioned, innocent teenage baby brother Christian was murdered in the Morgan Park community. And that inspired a lot. That made me out for justice, not just for his life, but the lives for many of us in our communities across the nation who have lost our lives to violent crime. I started.
Gianno, wait, before you do that, because so many times we, unfortunately, the most innocent people who lose their lives get reduced to the worst day of their life, being killed or something like that. Tell us about Christian.
Well, Christian was a good kid. He was loved basketball. He joked a lot. He at 16 years old, he begged me to take him on a college tour to Los Angeles, which I did. USC, I believe that's the name of it. Like USC, yeah. So I took him over there for a college tour. We met some really good people. He was really excited about school, and he never made it to school because he was murdered. So this was a life that was stolen from our family. The potential of him, the potential of the impact he could have made on the city of Chicago, all of that gone. But it's not just a Christian issue. I love my brother dearly. Obviously, I started this because of him, but it's happening to far too many of us in our communities. There's so much potential in the city of Chicago. We have brainiacs. I'm sure people on this radio show that are listening, they know family members that are brilliant. And then they know family members who were brilliant and then they died. They were murdered. And there's so much potential, but it's spread across the city of Chicago in graveyards. This is unnecessary loss of life that we continue to see. I got to Chicago yesterday, late last night. I turn on the TV. I go to Fox 32. The first thing I see, the very first thing when I turned that channel, 5 people murdered overnight. 5 people murdered overnight? Lives gone? A 13-year-old shot? What is this? And some people would be cynical and say, well, it was only 5 people. It could have been worse.
Yeah.
How are we normalizing this kind of behavior, this activity, this loss of life? It should not be the case. That's one of the reasons why it was so necessary to come to my hometown. I born and raised here. I went to Simeon High School. It was so necessary to bring together people, to let our voices be known and heard loud and clear. Enough is enough.
Yeah. 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 Did they ever catch the person who killed your brother, murdered your brother?
No, I'm actually no, they have not. And thank you so much. And I'm in a situation now where I'm bringing in private investigators that are going to do the research for us, because there are some clues here which I think can unravel what exactly took place, who did it. From what I know from the Chicago police, from what they've told me consistently, my brother was standing next to a guy who had took a video of 2 guys fighting in a gangway, and one guy got beat up really badly, and this guy took this video and put it on Facebook. And the guy who got beat up really badly was trying to kill the guy who put the Facebook video out there, and my brother happened to be standing next to him. So they shot this guy multiple times. Somehow he lived, and he had to have multiple surgeries, and my brother died. They shot other people as well. So with this terrible set of circumstances, something that I never thought that my family would be in, I had to do something that was going to improve the lives of others. It is literally my therapy to help other people, because I want my brother's name and legacy to mean something in this world. And now it means something on a national level.
Hold on with me. We just have to take a quick break. We're talking with Gianno Caldwell. He's a Fox News political analyst, and he's the founder of the Caldwell Foundation for Public Safety. This is very personal to him because he lost his brother. And, you know, I've watched you for years, and I remember when it happened. And I remember the pain that you have talked about this through the years, the almost the disbelief as well. Just not being, you could see it in your face. 773-591-6090. We're going to talk about this event that's taking place tomorrow and why you should be involved. We'll do that right after this break for traffic and weather.
More coming up from Kimberley Agoin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
The American Heart Association is committed to being a relentless force for a world of longer, healthier lives, so survivors like Pam Morris-Walton can have more time to celebrate personal and professional milestones with the people they love.
Pam Morris-Walton here. Family, I am a heart survivor and I am loving life. I want you to be a survivor too. Some of the ways you can protect your heart from heart disease is by eating right, exercising, even walking or riding a bike. Watch your blood pressure, stop stressing out, and pay attention to your body. If something feels wrong, do not ignore it. Let your doctor know. The American Heart Association and I want you to live a long and healthy life, don't you?
Learn more about how to maintain a healthy heart and possible signs of heart disease. Visit the American Heart Association at heart.org. That's heart.org.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
Hey Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
Your family's health and our community's health comes first. That's why UChicago Medicine brings you the Community Health Focus Hour, Saturdays at 1 p.m. No matter the health topic, you'll get clear facts, real and doable advice from UChicago Medicine doctors, experts, and community leaders. So you, your family, and community can make smarter choices and live healthier. Hear us at WVON.com or WVON at iHeartRadio. The Community Health Focus Hour, Saturdays at 1 p.m., powered by the Urban Health Initiative of UChicago Medicine at the forefront.
Back to Kimberley Agoin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hey everyone, we also have a chance for you to step back in time and experience a piece of Chicago history. The Friends of Pullman National Historical Park are giving you the chance to win a pair of tickets to this weekend's Railroad Days at Pullman National Historical Park, which is located at 614 East 113th Street. Now, this weekend only, you get a rare opportunity to tour and experience the historic Pullman rail cars that were built right here on site by people who helped shape American rail travel. If you've never been in that area to see the homes and all of that that built Pullman, the Pullman neighborhood, it is something else. If you call right now, the next 5 callers will each win a pair of tickets to this weekend's Railroad Days. So give us a call, 773-591-1690, and get a pair of these tickets. Step back into history. It should be very interesting. We are talking with Gianno Caldwell. He is the founder of the Caldwell Foundation for Public Safety. Tell us more about the foundation and also the event that you guys are putting on tomorrow.
The foundation itself is really all about education. We get involved in school education on crime, teaching students, teachers, in addition to that on human trafficking, which is another issue that impacts a lot of folks. You've seen, a lot of our young black girls have been human trafficked, and it's not something that really comes up in the mainstream media. You rarely hear about it, but it's a very true fact. So what we do is national, and we also host events. We had a town hall in Chicago last year where we brought together hundreds of people, black and white, of all demographics, if you will, who came in saying, hey, we need to do something about the violent crime that exists in this city. So we want to be a vessel for good and change in the city of Chicago and around the nation.
And in what way? So when you're having events and you're having those discussions, I know what the ultimate outcome is. What are the tactics and the strategies that you use to get there?
Well, we usually bring in policy experts, people that understand it, whether it can be law enforcement, it can be anti-violence anti-violence organizations, people like Teal Hardeman, which I know is a friend of WVON who's been very, very helpful to us and very supportive of what we're doing. So we bring together people of all walks of life to have these discussions, because there's a lot of discussions that are taking place that we're not involved in. And I'm not talking about our organization. I'm talking about the black community are being left out of these very important discussions. How can you come up with solutions that we're not involved in? And oftentimes we do see that. And we've seen that many times before in the city of Chicago. And the question is, how are you doing this when we're taking the brunt of the pain? If you look at over the last 10 years, we've seen almost 7,000 people murdered. Almost 7,000 in the city of Chicago. Guess what percentage of those people have been black? Almost 80%.
I bet.
80%.
I'm surprised it's not higher. I'm just being honest. But
It's tragic where we are. But people, they can be cynical. What is the march going to do? That's what some folks can say. What is that going to do? People still dying. Well, what is sitting at home and not doing anything going to do?
Right.
We have to speak with a loud, clear, and unified voice. Bring all parties to the table because our existence is being threatened.
That's so true. How can people what? How can they participate tomorrow? What do they
Well,
need to
we're
do?
starting off at Morgan Park High School at 10 a.m. tomorrow. You can go to caldwellsafety.org. You can get any details. You can register for the march, or you can just come even if you don't register. But again, it's Morgan Park High School, which is where Christian went to school. He went to high school there. We're going to start there. We're going to march. We'll have some people come in and speak. And, we just want to bring people together. It's been enough division in the city of Chicago and around the country, and it is about time that we come together for a real purpose. We're remembering those that we lost, people who've been murdered. No matter how it happened, we're going to remember those people, and we're coming together in their name to say enough is enough. We will not be silent anymore on any of these issues. So again, it's caldwellsafety.org.
Caldwellsafety.org. Let me ask you this, because the trauma that you have suffered as someone who is a survivor, of your person not only being killed but also not having anyone brought to justice, that's just traumatic. That's like
Yes.
trauma upon trauma. Will you all have people there, or in any of your activities, do you have people who are there who are counselors, deal with the actual trauma of this and people having to relive this?
So that's a great question. We started after my brother was murdered, two organizations. The first one was the Caldwell Institute for Public Safety. That's caldwellinstitute.org. In there, we have a resource tab, and we had people like Dr. Drew Pinsky, and I'm sure people know Dr. Drew from television. Him and a relative of mine, Dr. Hines, they came together. They put together a manual on how to deal with the mental health parts of it. Because to your point, that was one of the things that I had to deal with. I also have tabs on there that I brought together former prosecutors, police chiefs. They put together a manual. How do you work with these individuals when these things happen? What do you do? Because dealing with the police is pretty hard in Chicago. They're overwhelmed. There's always a new crime, and sometimes you can feel blown off. I know I certainly felt blown off at points, and I have a national platform and media galore on my brother. We're still talking about this 4 years later. Today actually marks 4 years and 1 month since he was murdered. So we put together that. How do you get media coverage for your family members so you can get justice? I wrote a manual on that. So that's on our resource tab at the Caldwell Institute for Public Safety, caldwellinstitute.org. And then we started the Caldwell Foundation for Public Safety. So will we have mental health experts there? Not that we're aware of. We don't have any ourselves coming there, but we do have resources on our website that people can tap into.
I think that's wonderful. We do have one person who has a question for you. Al, you are on with Gianno Caldwell.
Hey, Gianno. I watch you every night on Jimmy Fallon.
Oh,
when
thank you
when
for
you
watching.
fill in and sit on the show, and I know this is a serious topic. My two questions, real quick, was where do you see this organization in like 10 years? And the other one was a little lighter note is, do you plan to hit the stage doing any comedy?
Do you do comedy?
Well, so the Jimmy Fallon show he's talking about is called Fox News Saturday Night. It comes out on Fox News Channel. I think it's probably 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it's a comedy show. He makes fun of both parties. So I joke. I've not necessarily seen myself hitting the stage, but maybe. And two, where do I see the organization? I see the organization having chapters in every major city in America, or not just major cities, but where there's violence and there's a need for help and resources.
Yeah, and what I'm seeing is that in some cases, 30, 40, 50 years, they are solving murders. But I guess my question to you, the last question I would give, because we're up on a clock, do you see that your brother being African American adding another layer to the frustration behind the person not being caught, or people not dealing with the Black Death the way that they should be dealing with it?
Well, I think that often happens in general when it comes to Black folks. So it's not necessarily just a Christian specific thing.
Oh no, and that, yeah, I'm just saying through that lens. I'm because that's what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about if, for example, if the young man Nolan Wells was killed and that happened, there were white people who killed him. Okay, that got like the biggest press ever.
Yeah.
But we've got black people who, and chances are it was a black person who killed your brother. I wasn't there, but his chances are in the Morgan Park neighborhood that may be what happened. And it's like it has to have that other issue there for it to really blow up big time, or it just needs to be a non-black person who gets killed. I mean that's how it looks to me.
More often than not, yeah, the non-black person would get a whole lot of press, at least for a little while, because for a lot of them, it's a shocker that a white person or a non-black person was actually murdered, especially with the numbers that I just stated. But in my case, I've been on national TV for 10 plus years now. I have a national platform that's number one in the country, and I got a lot of press just from being who I am in those areas. Much that most folks will never get in the city of Chicago, and that's part of the reason why I started the Caldwell Institute for Public Safety. I went in and had the similar experiences of a lot of people. I have friends who've lost multiple people to violent crime. And I'm talking about not actively involved in gangs, not involved in the streets or anything like that, but they've lost multiple people. And just for the listeners, if you think about it, you may know people who have family members that lost multiple folks. That's just what it is in the city of Chicago. There's been I think the people don't value human life like they should. And it's unfortunate. What is the point of taking someone's life because they disrespected you? What is the point of taking somebody's life because you don't like what they're wearing? Now, I know that it can be much more complex than that. I get it. But it should not be the case that I'm turning on the TV and they're like, oh, 5 people murdered last night on to weather. Like, what is that? It just doesn't make, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh my God. Can we value our brothers and sisters? Can we say enough is enough? And that's what this march, again, tomorrow, Morgan Park High School, 10 a.m., caldwellsafety.org. That's what this is all about. We have to be united on this front. Otherwise, our community won't be in existence.
Jano, we want to thank you so much for joining us and for this foundation and for the event tomorrow. We really appreciate you coming back home and hosting this. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate your time. Thank you for having me.
Really appreciate you as well. Guys, that's it for me today. You're going to have a great conversation with Logan and Lexi. They're going to talk about all of the hot topics that are in the news, the trending news in just a couple of minutes. It's been a pleasure to fill in for Matt. Thank you, Matt, for this opportunity. Thank you, Melody Span-Cooper, for this opportunity. We're now going to take a break for news, traffic, and weather with Logan.
Thank you, Kimberly. I'm Logan Page, and here it's happening in your local and national news. One of Chicago's most popular night spots is closed down. The 50-yard line located on 75th Street on the city's south side faces several concerning safety issues. City inspectors submitted an emergency closure order after discovering missing carbon monoxide alarms, leaking roof drain pipes, and unsanitary kitchen conditions, among other violations. Some nearby residents say the bar was unfairly targeted, but others are calling for improved security and cleanliness. In other news, it's WNBA All-Star Weekend in the Windy City. Chicago Sky Operating Chair Nadia Rawlinson spoke yesterday during the Media and Innovation Summit at the Obama Center. She said that Chicago has always been a city of big ideas and a city that understands the power of sports to bring people together. Meanwhile, the WNBA skills competition, three-point contest, and shooting stars will be held tonight at Wintrust Arena. The All-Star Game is tomorrow night at the United Center. None of the Sky players are participating in any of the WNBA competitions. In other news, the CDC has linked cyclospore cases in Illinois, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Pennsylvania to a nationwide outbreak. The illnesses, which can cause nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, has already sickened people in several Midwestern states. Federal investigators believe the outbreak is connected to shredded iceberg lettuce served at Taco Bell restaurants. The lettuce has reportedly been traced to a single supplier in Mexico. And Jackson County officials say the death of 18-year-old Nolan Wells will be presented to a grand jury as a standard for non-natural deaths. Wells was found dead in the water near Horn Island on July 6 after a 4th of July boating trip with friends. The district attorney rejected claims that investigators are not taking the case seriously. The case has drawn national attention because Wells, who was black, was reportedly with a group of all white friends before his death. I'm Logan Page, and that's what's happening in your news now on WVON 1690 AM.
Chicago need documents notarized fast and professionally. CT Consulting Notary Services has you covered. Walk in, schedule an appointment, or connect remotely through our online electronic notarization services. From mortgages and estate planning to affidavits and travel documents, we do it all. Located at 75th and Dorchester. Call Camille today at 872-901-2212. 872-901-2212. CT Consulting, Notary Services, making notarization simple, convenient, and professional.
Some people wait for the future, others build it. WVON proudly presents the 2026 40 Game Changers Under 40. This year, it's a compass, celebrating the navigators of next. Do you know an entrepreneur, community change agent, rising executive, educator, innovator, or a creator who is 40 or under and doing great work to help shape the future of Chicago? Or is that someone you? Now through July 17th, we're taking nominations. Visit 40gamechangers.com to submit your nominee. And then keep listening for updates on this year's exciting celebration. In 2026, our compass is on the navigators of next, because Chicago's future belongs to the people bold enough to lead it. Sponsored by BMO.
Every Sunday, now you'll be able to listen to the First Church of Deliverance here on 1690 WVON and on the iHeartRadio app at 11 p.m. Tune in for inspirational music, powerful word, and a blessing from the Lord. That's the First Church of Deliverance, Sundays at 11 p.m. right here on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. Follow us at fcdchicago.org. Back to Kimberley Agoin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Yeah. You're so cute, Rosie.
Good afternoon, Chicago. We're here today, me and Lexi.
Hey.
Hey. So today I'm filling in for Maddie Matt, our favorite Black Spartan. He's out today. And every Friday at 2:30, we talk about what's catching the attention of two 20-something-year-olds and what's happening in our lives. So what's going on, Lexi?
Hey, girl. How are you?
I'm good. You're so far.
I know. It's good to see you. I'm good. I met one of our supporters yesterday. Super cool. Just like a quick, my mom is a state rep. She passed a bill to make July 25th Emmett Till and his mother day. What is it? Till Mobley. I forget her first name, but oh gosh.
Mammy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So they both are having their official day every year on the 25th of July. Right. And one of our supporters was there and recognized the name and the voice and gave us some really great kudos and continued to urge us to continue doing our thing and reconnecting the youth back to media through radio and other things.
Yes, something that a lot of people can't do these days. So this is such a blessing to have every Friday at
It was
2:30.
so sweet.
Yeah, we love that. So you take off.
I was gonna say, what's your win of the week? What's your risk?
My win. My win this week. I think my win. Okay, no, my risk this week was stepping into the field, obviously doing some more outdoor interviews, and I got to talk to Attorney Eggleston, who is a pillar for creating some senior residences in Imani Village. So that was super cool, and that was my first interview with an attorney. So that was super big for me, and that was a big risk of mine. So, and then a win is just
being able to have a show on the Friday every weekend with my best friend and learning something new every week. So yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, how about
Even
you?
though you say it was a risk, I'm gonna say you have double wins this week. Huge
Okay.
congratulations. Huge
Thank you.
congrats. Yeah.
WV.
Um, my risk of this week, well, it was kind of last week. I introduced the Mr. Man to mom and dad, which was really kind of scary.
No.
But we're here. We're believing in healthy dating, so I know Matt will be proud. We fill him in
Yes.
next week.
I know we get to fill him in. We should
Um,
talk.
and then my win, I would say the same. I look forward to Fridays. I'm at the studio this week, which has been really nice to be back in the creative space and write music. I know I'm doing music all the time, but I've been learning a lot of other people's music, so it's been nice to decompress and write and do things like that. So
Yeah. Well, so what are you writing? What are you cooking up? What you
cooking
cooking
up,
up? Tea?
I would love to finish some of these singles. One of my best friends is Peter Cottontail, who's an
Oh,
incredible artist and Grammy Award
what's
winning producer,
more?
right?
You should bring
Shout out
him on
to
one day.
I asked him if he wanted to come today. He said maybe next time. So,
Okay. Always
but
a win.
yeah, we've just been trying to finish some demos that we've been working on. This one is one of our favorite topics about applying pressure. Like,
Mhm.
you do have to about being courted, one might say. Yeah,
Okay, yeah. We need that. I don't
I
think
love
people
that.
properly talk about in lyrics anymore about how people should be courted because I feel like people just expect everybody to know and
Exactly.
everybody doesn't know.
No,
Yeah.
or they think it's just like flowers, bag, shoe. That's being courted. Like those are nice things, but like, what about intentionality too? Like,
Yeah. I want the best of both worlds. We
me too.
deserve the full package.
All of it. All of
Yeah.
it. I'm not knocking the shoes in her bags.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. We shouldn't. We should never do that.
We should never
Ah,
do that. So I feel like we have to talk about it. I feel like we have
yeah.
to talk about the dime.
We have to talk about the dime.
We have to talk about
R.I.P. the dime.
rest in peace to the dime.
Dime,
And
our
rest in
favorite
peace to
spot.
the patron who was also shot and killed down the
Uh,
street. Emphasis on down the street. But
yeah.
this is sad. How are you
Yeah.
feeling?
I think it was a big eye opener for me. I think it was a big eye opener for everybody that our little safe spaces that we go to have fun on our days that we don't have work and just want to blow off some steam are just constantly getting shut down because of pointless and reckless violence. Like I know I don't mean to sound like too bland and not really empathetic, but I feel like what happened to just like maybe like fighting or something. Like, why does it have to pull out a gun to get your point across? I
Yeah.
just don't understand that. That's where I'm getting a big disconnection. And also, too, I'm just upset because this is where like our friends work and they promote there, and now they're probably gonna have to find the next spot, and or maybe the dime will like turn into something else, get rebranded. Who knows?
Maybe. But I feel like the Northsiders are gonna take that back.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because they gave us a branch, you know. And
Yeah.
they're like, we can let you have this spot. And I feel like people took it for granted again. So,
Yeah. Ugh, take it for granted. It's so interesting because it's like, yes, but also like, why can't we just exist in those spaces? But this is reason why, like, we see white boys fighting outside the club all the time. We see white boys drunk, like
they're
doing a whole bunch of
fighting
things.
though.
Right,
They're not
exactly.
getting
They're not drawing
along.
out. And
I
I don't
just
get
don't
it.
remember having these issues when we were younger. Like, we would go out to the club and, like, we would really hear about our spots getting shot up. So,
Yeah,
I'm very confused.
it's true. I feel like especially downtown and Northside, it's happening a lot more in the last like 5, 6
Yeah.
years.
And
Yeah.
that just shows that it's not just the South Side. It's like everyone has these bad connotations of the South Side, but really it's happening everywhere. This can
Yeah.
happen everywhere. So,
Black people in Uptown with guns. Black people everywhere with guns. It's not just the South Side. White people in Uptown with guns. White people in the South Side with guns. Like
and
it is more than limited to just a place. And I don't. I don't love how it's, yes, our community maybe doesn't have to be so reactive with violence as like the first measure. But at the same time, does that warrant then Xing Black people out of spaces that are predominantly white? Like, where's the middle ground? I have no idea. Like, I actually don't know the answer, but it's like, how do we?
I need like an expert.
We do.
We
Because
need an
it's
expert.
psychological. We shouldn't have to prove we belong somewhere. We should just be able to exist anywhere when things like this happen and
But
suddenly,
why do we feel like, and it just really comes down to the reason, why do we feel like we have to have guns in order to protect ourselves?
yeah.
Why does our people feel that way? We know why,
We know
obviously.
why.
We all
For
know
so
why.
long, we were without protection and just we're getting
Mhm.
craziness from lots of different, yes, it's a whole thing, but it's sad. Rest in peace to the dying. Rest in peace to the patron
Rest in
who
peace to the
was shot and killed.
dying.
It's gonna be interesting. I think, yeah, I don't know. You hear crazy stuff. The security guard who fell down the stairs at Hubbard and
And
died,
lost
but
his
Hubbard
life.
is still open.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
I guess because that was more of a like accidental,
Yeah,
which
instead of like an actual draw.
like a
Yeah. Uh,
that's why.
I wonder, I want to know if the older generations feel like this is a relatively new issue that's towards us. Not saying violence hasn't
It's
always been
times
around.
like this we need Matt.
Right. We need Matt. What was happening when you
We
were
need Matt in these moments. So we can ask him, was this happening back in your day?
was it? Was it?
Ask our parents.
Yeah, that's true. Papa
Mom, Dad,
Page.
are you listening?
Okay. On the upside,
On the
really cool
upside.
things going on in Chicago. How was
What's
the
going on this weekend? What's
what
going on?
what's going on the WNBA All-Star weekend?
Woo! It's
And
so
how was
good.
the NAACP weekend conferencing? How was that?
I think it was so cool.
Yeah.
That was like another part of my risk, going out to the NAACP and getting these interviews. Like, I got to talk to the vice president and the president of the Miami-Dade branch of the NAACP. And
Nice.
I just walked up to people, I'm trying to get these interviews, and thankfully God pointed me to them, and those were the first people I got to talk to. So that was super cool. I think just being surrounded by all these people from different places that are trying to support and better voter engagement was super interesting. Like, that's not every day that you get to experience that. And just being with my coworkers, and
Yeah.
we got to sit down with the CEO and president,
Sick.
Derek Johnson of the
Nice.
NAACP. So that was super cool. Matt got to put him on for a remote broadcast. So I think that was just super interesting. I want to go again next year. I want
Yeah.
to go again every year. I don't know if it's going to be here next year,
I want to be Black in every life.
but exactly.
That's
That's the
cool.
goal.
That's super cool.
Yeah,
Um,
so I love that. That was super cool. And there's like galas and stuff I wish I could have attended, but I don't get off till late. So I was just like, let me prioritize me for a little bit.
yeah. Next year. Next year it'll come. It'll be fine.
Next year. Next year will be great.
Are you parlaying in the WNBA activities this weekend?
I feel like yesterday was a good kickoff for us. Like, even
Yes.
though it was a little short, but we were at, what was that even for?
There's an artist named, I believe her name is Rishi, and she did a collaboration with Nike to create a shoe for
Right.
WNBA All-Star Weekend. And
Okay. Cool,
that
cool.
store, SVRN, I
It was
believe.
beautiful.
It's a
I
beautiful store.
love
They
the
sell a
vibe.
lot of like one pieces, designer wear, like collectibles, things like that. So I'll tell you more about it when we come
Yeah,
back.
after this break, let's talk more about it, okay?
More coming up from Kimberley Agoin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Shop small with Wintrust Bank and celebrate the heart of our community, our local businesses. Listen as we share a list of small businesses throughout our community that we can shop, dine, and support throughout the year. These businesses are the economic engine that drives our neighborhoods. Wintrust knows that. That's why they're Chicago's bank and why they're encouraging you to shop local. Keep listening for the Wintrust Community Business Spotlight campaign. With Wintrust, shopping small is a big deal.
Girl, where have you been? My laundry got backed up. I had so much laundry I felt like the help, but I found the truth.
You became a Jehovah's Witness?
I found Clean Break. For less than the price of a good meal, Clean Break washed and folded my clothes and had them smelling fresh the way I like.
It's gotta be inexpensive. You know all the hookups.
Darn Skippy. I wasn't about to pay no $100 for 2 bags of clothes, and I caught the WVON discount.
Girl, sign me up. I'm sold.
Try Clean Break today for just $25 per bag, including pickup and delivery. Call 708-980-7886 or visit cleanbreak.com. That's KLEANBREAK.com. Clean Break, fresh clothes, more free time. Get your weekends back.
So fresh and so clean, Break.
This Saturday, opportunity is under construction. Join the Rainbow Push Coalition and the African American Contractors Association for the 22nd Annual African American Contractors Day during a special edition of the Saturday Morning Forum. Hear from contractors, business leaders, labor representatives, elected officials, and the presidents of 4 Chicago city colleges as they discuss jobs, contracts, apprenticeships, workforce development, and building pathways to economic opportunity. Breakfast is at 8 a.m. The resource fair begins at 8:30, followed by the Saturday morning forum at 10 a.m. at the Rainbow Push Coalition headquarters, 930 East 50th Street in Chicago.
Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
It's Rufus Williams.
Harold Washington caught hell from the city council. Was it because he was black? Absolutely, without a doubt. And he came in to dismantle the machine. The challenge that we continue to have is that we don't get anyone in there beyond one term. He was only in for a term and a little bit because he died. Lori Lightfoot was only in for 1 term. And we don't know what Brandon Johnson is going to do. Daley's were able to be in for a longer time, to have more power and get more things done. And as well, Rahm was in for 2 terms. But does race matter in Chicago? Absolutely, as it continues to matter every place else in the country.
Weekdays at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hello, Chicagoland. This is your main man, Tio, Mr. Ceasefire Hardiman. I'm inviting all of my friends, associates, and colleagues to tune in to WVON, the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM for the Tio, Mr. Ceasefire Hardiman Show. This show will cover all the hottest topics, including politics, reducing gun violence, and so much more, right here every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, WVON. Thank you.
Back to Kimberley Agoin on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
We are back on air. Logan and Lexi on Fridays, 2:30 p.m. every Friday. So we have a caller, Lex.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We have Al Stone on the line. Can we answer him?
Hey, Logan and Lexi.
Hello.
Hi.
And I just want to speak about this place you have called the Dime Out. Was that the place that you all frequent?
It was called the Dime, yes, in Lincoln Park.
The Dime.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a place that's similar like that for an older person. They had a kitchen fire in February. They just opened.
Oh. Okay.
And everybody's back. Are you saying that even if the Dime revamps, you would never go back to the place?
I think it depends on ownership.
Yeah.
And the vibe. I think there's a spot in West Loop called Broken Hearts, and it used to be a black club before that, and I believe someone was shot and killed and they shut down the establishment and they completely rebranded it to like a very white appealing dive bar, and renamed to Broken Hearts. So, I've been there a few times for a drink, whatever. It's not like I wouldn't necessarily go back, but the atmosphere, the vibe no longer caters to our community, which makes it tough.
And have you ever been to the bartenders
Oh yes, bartend.
on Taylor Street?
Yeah,
Yeah.
How did you liked it? It was okay.
it's cool. Yeah,
The vibe. It's cool, yeah. Yeah.
it's a bar. It's
Well,
cool.
I just want to chime in and help you ladies move the conversation. You enjoy your Friday and your weekend.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for calling
much.
us.
Thank you, Al. All right. So he's asking us if we'd ever go back. Hmm. I think I'd have to take a break
Yeah.
and then maybe circle back in a little time.
I don't know. It's so sad.
Yeah. It just doesn't feel the same.
It
All those
doesn't feel the
memories.
same.
Those good memories. Like,
Dime is big enough to run around and do a lap for real.
and now we have to consider too, like, will it be safe this time around? Like,
Yeah.
these are all the questions we have to think about. So
That's
we'll
awesome.
see next time in the future, I guess.
Ugh. Yeah, it's tough. I want our people to just come together, unify, use our words.
Yeah. And especially like weekends like this would be a great weekend to have the dime and
It would. It would be a great weekend. The
yeah.
WNBA All-Star Weekend. I can't believe it. Um, my mom was on a panel yesterday for it, where she was talking about the safety of like online presence and athletes with social media and the use of AI and people creating fake images that are deemed inappropriate, whether it's sexually, verbally, like racially, things of that nature. Creating fake images of people that aren't true. How do you protect the safety of people in the spotlight?
That
It's
AI
just
stuff is so weird. Like I saw like one of our friends, they took that's an influencer, they took her picture and then morphed it with another girl's picture and made it into their own like AI page, but it was like all the same outfits and stuff, but just like two girls morphed into one. Like what type of genetic
what is
are
this?
you doing? AI is so weird and complicated. Like,
It
mm-mm.
is. It's very complicated. Yeah, so that was interesting. I know that there are some more activations going on. Like yesterday, my brother helped facilitate the Rishi artist in the SVR in space. There's a bunch of different things going on. I know there's a brunch, I believe, tomorrow. Um,
The private party tonight.
hmm
Yeah.
Yes, Mary Dillon, former CEO of Ulta Beauty and Foot Locker, is doing an event for Save the Children U.S. Chair. Um, a lot of things going on this
And
weekend.
Obama was here earlier today. And
Yes, he was at the
yeah,
meeting. He's kicking it.
he was at his library.
I missed him by one day.
I know. And he was there playing. No, he wasn't playing, but he went to go to their practices and
I love
give the
that.
support and love and all that. So that's so cool.
What a
No one's
cool.
ever done that at their library. Had WNBA players playing in their library.
Thank you.
Hey.
The duality of this conversation, like, it's so cool that we
Crazy.
bring so much light and love in Chicago, like surface level. Like, I know the Dime's not making national news,
It's making national digital news.
right? But
News.
it's not making like it's just Chicago. Like, it's such a beautiful place and it's such a cool place to be, but it also has its struggles and its wounds, and the city hurts internally while she flourishes externally. It's so just it's a
Yeah.
confusing way.
But it's a positive weekend, so we'll keep it positive. Will I see you this weekend?
We will see I want to go dancing on Saturday. Two of my favorite
Okay.
DJs are playing up north at Easy Does It, I believe.
Oh, I love Easy Does It. Okay.
Yeah, if you want to come for a little dance, I feel like that would be a lot of fun.
Yay! here. 3 days. 3 days. We've been on a bender, okay?
Anything else on your mind? What are you up to?
Um, if there's some like summer league games that I might do some interviews at this weekend, but
Yeah.
besides that, we'll see what happens. I might actually go and work with Dove this weekend too for the WNBA All-Star game at the
Nice.
United Center. So we'll
Yeah.
see what happens with that.
I think
So
that's so dope. Well, if always you ever want to come see me at work, come to Howl at the Moon. I'll be there tonight at 10.
okay, I'll stop
Second
by.
tonight, right? I'm gonna be in a little
That'll be my
disco.
first spot.
Yeah, pregame always. Come kick it with
Okay.
the Sweet Caroliners.
Okay, what's your times that you're on
I'll be
tonight?
there 10 to 1.
10 to 1. Howl
Come
at the
see
Moon.
me. Howl at the Moon. I love you, sister.
Yes, happy Friday to all. We love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news headlines. Obama surprises WNBA All-Stars at Chicago practice. Report questions WNBA Commissioner's future. Eggs recalled for possible salmonella. And Sean Diddy Combs in solitary confinement after prison fight. National news from the Black Information Network is up next on Chicago's only urban talk radio station, 1690 AM WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
I'm Vanessa Tyler on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First. The next knock on the door could be ICE, and Haitians are terrified. Even more frightening, being shipped off to a danger zone. This woman has been living and thriving in America since 2005. Now she feels she could be heading to her death.
Right now, the gang, they control the country. So if I go in Haiti, or wherever I live, they can kidnap me, they can kill me.
Also facing a sort of death, the economy, especially in places like Miami-Dade, Florida.
I always say what makes us so extraordinary is our diversity, but also that it is our greatest strength, and not just our diversity, but our unity.
Miami-Dade Mayor Daniela Levine Cava says Haitians are model immigrants and is just cruel of Donald Trump to kick them out.
They're not simply part of our community, these Haitian Americans. They are a critical, indispensable part of our entire economy. And right now, this community, this economy faces an existential threat because of the ending of TPS.
They presented it as an immigration issue, when it is also an economic issue that affects every American.
Miami-Dade County Commissioner Marlene Bastien, a Haitian immigrant herself and leader for all her constituents.
95% Haitian CPS holders are employed. Together, they contribute nearly $5.8 billion to the U.S. economy each year and pay approximately $1.5 billion in taxes. Studies estimate that ending TPS would cost the U.S. between $253 billion.
They say with about 350,000 Haitians under threat.